Frazier. Down goes Frazier.
It's over the wall. It's a home run for Bucky Bench. Fumble. Giants have it. Lawrence Taylor struck the ball.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
5 seconds left in the game. You believe in miracles? Yes!
Down 10-0.
Giants protecting a 10-0 lead. Barkley straight ahead with a big hole. And running through is Saquon Barkley. And he's going in for a Giants touchdown. 78 yards. That deserves a wow. You know, he casually mentioned, Darryl, in my mind, when I touch the ball, I think I can score at any time, anywhere.
And welcome to Thursday night. A little different start to the show. Welcome to the Hard Rock and Sports Show, live from high atop Hard Rock and Sports Studios in beautiful scenic Monroe, New Jersey. We are your weekly 3-hour get-together. We bring you all the news about the worlds of hard rock, heavy metal, of course, the wide world of sports. And tonight, folks, we are NFL Live. That's right. We will be doing our NFL draft show for the 6th straight year. Third, I think, on video. First on video. There's our first one, I think, on video. No, we did last year's on video. But our third, probably fourth time doing the draft show, kind of a live telecast. I actually think I'm going to be able to stream it into the show. So once the draft gets kicked off, I'll put it up on the screen. I think we should be able to watch it. We'll bring in the sound when they make their picks. And in between Jeff and I and maybe some guests, Matt Salitri and Frank Jeffrey, our NFL experts, may pop in to join us. And Mike Passamonte from the Pass the Mike show might pop in and do a couple minutes with us as well. So we got a lot of people might be showing up. We're glad you guys have joined us, and we'll look forward to a great show. One of my favorite shows of the year, maybe my favorite show. This is fun. You know, more so than even the Super Bowl, the NFL draft is not just a one-day event. It's 3 days. This is, 3 nights. Pageantry. I could do it at the red carpet. Michael Irvin and Melissa Starks hanging on the red carpet. And what are you wearing? Who gives a shit? But listen, the NFL makes everything into a bit of a big production. And I have to tell you, I'm kind of glad. And I'll tell you why. Because last year we didn't have this. Last year we had Uncle Roger Goodell in the basement, sitting in the comfy chair, talking to us about the thing. Everything was virtual. We did it. We got through it. Jeff and I were on the air for it, but it's not the same as what we got tonight. And tonight, folks, there's some intrigue. There's some debate to be had. Will Trevor Lawrence be the next great elite quarterback in the league? There are 4 of the quarterbacks, possibly all 5 going in the top 10, breaking records. We could get more in the first round if a couple guys drop into the first round. Where will guys fall? Who trades out? We got a couple teams, possibly the Falcons, possibly the Carolina Panthers, maybe the Lions trading out, trading down. Teams wanting to pop up. There are teams itching for a quarterback. The Patriots, the Redskins. Washington football team, the Steelers. So many teams out there ready to pounce. We have so much to get to. We have 2.5, maybe 3 hours. I'm hoping we can keep Jeff awake enough to get to the Giants pick at number 11. I think the first few picks will go quick. But, guys, I'm excited to get back to some sort of normalcy and get to the NFL draft. To me, is the first big sign of normalcy. We have players, we have people in the stands, we have in the seats. We have players showing up. Roger Goodell's been given permission to hug the players. It's not perfect, but it's back, and we're having some fun. We got a lot of draft rumors. Aaron Rodgers wants to go. Big news on draft night. Does he go tonight? Where does he go? We got a trade yesterday. Teddy Bridgewater goes to the Broncos. What does that mean for the Carolina Panthers and the Denver Broncos? There's a lot of stuff that's gone on. We're going to talk about the Jets, the Giants. Who will grab the quarterbacks in the top 10? Will they all go? Will a couple drop? So much intrigue, lots of fun. We're going to kick it right off. Our NFL experts will be along with us, but right now we have our own expert, the Pharaoh, the Czar, the GOAT. I don't know which one he's going with each week, but we're just glad that each week he's here with us. He's the backbone of the Hard Rock and Sports Show, my dear friend, and the man who considers himself the greatest NFL analyst of all time, Jeff Tomlinski.
That is me.
Oh, great Pharaoh. Thank you for joining us this week.
That's right, man. That's right.
Yes.
I told you
a
lot of things since the offseason began. Okay.
Yes, you have. Go ahead. Okay.
Most of them I've been right.
Go ahead.
Now, here's another one that I'm going to tell you.
You got another one for us? Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Sam Darnold's career is over.
I disagree wholeheartedly. I think
his career is over.
Why do you say that?
Because the Panthers are going to draft a quarterback. Sammy Boy is going to be regulated to clipboard duty because there ain't nobody that's going to learn shit behind him.
I disagree. I didn't.
You also said the Giants should re-sign Eli. The Jets should keep Donald.
I can make a case for the Jets keeping Donald. I can.
But it didn't happen.
You're absolutely right. And there's a lot of stuff that could change. I did agree with the Giants keeping Eli until they got the right guy, and they have that right guy now.
I don't know.
Jeff, let's talk about the draft a little bit. Lots of stuff going on. I think the biggest piece of news and the thing that might affect this draft wholeheartedly is the fact that Aaron Rodgers has now said he does now no longer want to play for the Green Bay Packers. This comes out on, I'm sure it was done before, but it comes out on the draft night. And there was a report that the 49ers offered the number 3 pick in the draft for Aaron Rodgers. Tell me a little bit what you think about that.
I'm torn.
Why are you torn?
I'm torn because, first of all, you know that Aaron Rodgers is probably better than any quarterback coming out of college and probably one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL today. But he's 37 years old.
Yep.
So, I mean, unless you have a team that's built to win now, what is the point of going after Aaron Rodgers? Like the 49ers, are they that much of a win now team where you find yourself going after Aaron Rodgers and giving up the third pick in the draft?
Well, let me ask you this question before you go much further, though. While I don't disagree with you, I'll play the devil's advocate on this one. What if I said to you, you're going to take the third pick in this draft, the third quarterback is no great shakes to be guaranteed. 3 years will be a quarterback and have done anything. I would say at the very least, you'd be more guaranteed if you took Aaron Rodgers that in the next 3 years, you will at the very least be a playoff team in San Francisco. No, I'm just saying. So I understand the theory. If I'm the Jaguars, I would have said no. If I was the Jets, I would probably say no. But if I'm Frisco and I have the choices of Mac Jones, Trey Lance, and Justin Fields, or take Aaron Rodgers, boy, I gotta really think hard about that. And they did. They supposedly made the offer. Now, Green Bay, here's the question. Why would Green Bay turn that deal down? If he don't want to play there, and they can get the draft.
One, while I hear everything you're saying and I understand it, I just think that that's maybe San Francisco thinking that, that, like I said, that they're in win now mode and that they can do this.
Yeah, absolutely. They feel that they can win right now. Sure. So
that's one thing. Second, if I'm Green Bay, I don't know what, you got to think you have a 37-year-old quarterback. All right, let's give him 2 solid years. Okay. Let's give him this year and next year solid years.
Yep.
Okay, but Drew Brees broke down. Ben Roethlisberger's breaking down. Phillip Rivers broke down. All before the age of 40. I don't know. Brees was 40 or 41, right, when he retired.
41, I believe. Yeah.
Brady is the only other one that's still going strong at this point in time, mind you. So what's to say that Aaron Rodgers is going to follow in those footsteps? There's no guarantee. Although I understand what you're saying, there's no guarantee that Aaron Rodgers is going to be the player that you hope him to be.
Correct.
Okay,
no, I agree.
He may come onto your team and then find out that he's hitting the center in the back of the head with the Hail Mary because that's as far as he could throw the ball. You just don't know.
But well, let's put it this way. If you're Green Bay, and I don't want to spend too much time early on this. I do want to spend a lot of time on it, but because I want to get to some other topics because we got about an hour before the first pick. I want to run through a bunch of things with you, but Aaron Rodgers doesn't have a lot of leverage here. He's still got a lot of time on his contract. He has given basically 3 teams he'd go to, which it didn't make any sense to me. San Francisco, Green Bay, San Francisco, Denver, and the Raiders were the 3 teams that he was most interested in going to.
And neither one of those 3 teams, other than maybe San Francisco, is in a good position right now.
He wants to be closer to the West Coast. His new girlfriend is an actress of some sort. She's out there. And he wants to have more television opportunities. So, I get his point. His end of his career is coming. But here's the point now. How does Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers come back from this? Let's say he doesn't get traded. How do they come back? And what is does he show up at camp? I mean, if you're Green Bay, are you taking the chance that he will hold out or walk away?
I don't know, Tom. I don't know. I mean, the guy, if he's that much into his TV career, I guess he could just turn around and, sign up for his TV career right now and start. But, if this all stems back to last year, then there's a lot going on that
absolutely
should have been addressed a long time ago. Not on draft night.
The draft pick last year, which again, I've said from the beginning. Let's put it this way: if you're Green Bay and you love Jordan Love, the kid you took number 1 last year, and Aaron Rodgers says, "I don't want to play here anymore," and you love this kid, he's the guy. He was the perfect pick. Why at that point you're the Packers? You should be saying, "Great, we trade you. We get a nice pick, a number 3 pick. We can get a great player, and we got our guy." And the fact that they won't trade him tells me a lot about maybe that pick hasn't panned out yet.
Well, I don't think it's going to pan out. I was reading about it earlier today, and he was the 3rd-string quarterback this year. Mm-hmm. So, he didn't even make backup. So, I mean, 3rd stringer, God only knows how many times he actually got dressed for a game. He might have been up in the press box someplace, or who the fuck knows. There's a lot of questions about this whole thing. There really is. Yeah. And none of them are good for anybody involved.
No, and you know what, Jeff? Or let's say Green Bay's, the most that they could figure to get for him would be tonight, right? Because now give somebody the opportunity to get a high draft pick soon for him instead of waiting for down the road. Because if you wait till after the draft or another night, first round's gone. Teams aren't going to take a number 1 next year or the year after possibly for Aaron Rodgers, where trading him tonight, you walk away with an extra first round pick tonight.
You really think you're going to get that much for Aaron Rodgers?
They were already offered the number 3 pick in the draft for Aaron Rodgers was already offered, according to sources from the San Francisco 49ers. You're not telling me that maybe the Raiders might not give up their pick? Or
I saw number 3 and the quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yes.
For Rodgers. Not an extra number 1, not a number 1 next year. I didn't see that.
No, absolutely not. I'm just saying is, instead of getting a number 1 next year, you can, if they make the trade tonight, you can help yourself this year. I'm sure.
Yeah, you could, but teams like that he mentioned, I can't see Denver making the leap.
Well, I can see Denver doing it at this point. Of course, I mean, they just traded for Bridgewater, so I think it'd be a little bit of a stretch to make a trade now for Rodgers. But honestly, can he get traded? Yes. If you narrow it down to those 3 teams. But to me, if Green Bay turned down the number 3 pick and Jimmy Garoppolo in this year's draft, they're not making this trade.
No, I don't. I agree with you. I think the most feasible trade might be with the Raiders. Maybe they're looking for multiple picks. Maybe Gruden does this just to boost himself up a little bit.
Sure,
I don't know.
No, because Derek Carr and their number 1 for Rodgers, they're already a better team next year. They're already a better team. So listen, this trade's going to have there's a lot of trades that have been talked about. You still have the Deshaun Watson hanging out there, which I can't see anybody making that trade.
Nobody's trading for him.
Julio Jones supposedly is on the block, which I think is interesting. We're going to run through some of the teams early. I want to get your take on some of these early some of the teams and what they could be looking for and what they're going to be up to. So lots to do tonight, guys. We got Jeff, we got me. Again, we have some people might pop in, pop out during the night. We want your thoughts. Give me your thoughts on who you want the Jets. We know the Jets are taking Zach Wilson. Is he going to be the future? Is he going to be the guy who finally gives the Jets their franchise quarterback? It's been and there's a lot of teams. A lot of teams can put that down their mantle and say we haven't had the guy yet, and the Jets are one of them. I mean, and Jeff, I was talking to somebody about today. When people say the Jets haven't had a quarterback since Joe Namath, I disagree with it because I really do believe that Ken O'Brien was a good quarterback. He might not have been a Super Bowl winner, but Ken O'Brien was a good pick and had a good career for the Jets. And Chad Pennington was a good pick. Had he not gotten hurt, I think Chad Pennington would have been a much better player. I don't know. Again, I'll never give guys Super Bowl credit, but I think the Jets have done okay over the course of their career with their quarterback picks. It's just it hasn't gone to fruition. Even Sanchez wasn't a terrible pick. It wound up terrible, but it wasn't terrible. So, I mean, I give the Jets some credit. I just think that might be right now they have the chance to make history. But I tell you what, it's going to be uphill battle for this round of quarterbacks.
First, it's one of two things that are going to happen tonight. Okay, we're either going to continue the trend, and wait till next year and try it again, or they're going to draft the greatest quarterback in New York history.
You don't think there's an in between there somewhere?
No, there is no in between. There is no in between with this one. This one is going to be one end of the spectrum to the other. That's all there is to it. There is no in between, and I'll tell you why. Because if there was an in between, they would have hit it somewhere along the line. Okay. Chad Pennington was the in between. No, I would give him more. Now, of course, he wasn't the greatest quarterback in New York history, but I would say that he was closer to being one of the greatest quarterbacks in New York history as opposed to being a bust. That's one thing.
I would agree.
Ken O'Brien was on some bad teams. That's all there was to it. He wasn't on some good teams.
He was on some good teams. Those 86, 87, 88 Jets weren't terrible. I mean, 86 Jets team, I think, just missed the playoffs. That was a pretty good team. They just ran it down. Miami was a tough team in those divisions, and they could never put anybody away. They could never get to that.
You know what that means? That means they're not a good team.
Again, I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm not disagreeing. I just don't think they were terrible. I think the Jets have no choice, and that's the bad part of this was they've left. They had no choice but to make this pick tonight, and it's not picked yet. And I don't think there's any indication that we've seen anywhere that they won't be picking Zach Wilson. But listen, we'll go through the quarterbacks in a minute. There's an issue with each one of these guys, other than Trevor Lawrence. Listen, let me run it down for you guys. Let me
ask you something before you go off. If you were the New York Jets with 4 first-round picks in the next 2 years, do you at least call Jacksonville and offer all 4 picks plus Sam Darnold for their number one? Because if you think about it, you were essentially would have traded Jamal Adams, Sam Darnold, and 2 number 1 picks for the chance to get Trevor Lawrence. You don't at least make that phone call.
You know what? You definitely have the conversation. I mean, I'm sure I would like to think that Joe Douglas called just about everybody to say, hey, anything you want to talk about, at least had that conversation. So, yeah, I would agree. I think everybody's owed it to call up, Jacksonville and say, are you interested in it? Is there anything that can be talked about?
Well, I mean, the Jets were the only one. I mean, Jacksonville has 2 picks this year. So, not for nothing, you would only been enticing them with 1 extra pick. Maybe you'd have to throw in a second rounder somewhere. But I think you would have to at least try to make the call. You have to.
Yep, I agree. Guys, we have to do it here with Tom and Jeff here on the NFL Draft Show. We do this every year. Second year on video. Looking forward to, hopefully at least make it to the New York Giants to pick tonight. I don't know how long it'll take. They start at 8. The first 2 picks should go quick. I don't think you're going to see much time between those 2, but we got a lot to get to. We'll talk about how COVID may have affected this year's draft. We're going to talk about, is Trevor Lawrence the next elite quarterback? We'll talk about some of the players who may drop and rise. How many teams will hit this is huge for teams. How you draft tonight will affect the next 2, 3, 4 years, especially if you're drafting a quarterback. You will affect your draft. So we'll talk about that. We will talk about who will be picked and what we think they will go. And we'll break down the quarterbacks and the receivers and a lot. We'll talk about the Jets and Giants. And the Jets, the number 1 pick is set already. Number 2 pick in the draft. What will they do in 23? There's so many ways they could go. I think it's either running back or an offensive lineman. But the Giants are set up to take the best player available. So we'll see what will the Giants do. I think it's going to be a wide receiver. If you ask me, I could see them taking Slater, the offensive lineman. We could see them take a corner. I think it's a playmaking guy. But we'll see. It's so much to get to. Hard Rocket Sports, Jeff and Tom. We'll be back next week. We'll maybe break down the draft with our NFL experts. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about that. May 13th, what's his name? Ross the Boss returns to the Hard Rocket Sports Show. The Dictators have a new album out, and Ross will be coming back in and hanging with Jeff and I talking about the new Dictators album. So looking forward to that. And the return of Granny Four-Barrel is in the works. That's right. Granny Four-Barrel will be making a video appearance on the Hard Rocket Sports Show in the near future. They reached out to get in touch with us, but tonight is all about the NFL, Jeff. And let's start with the teams at the top. That's what I want to talk about with you, Jeff. Let's run through the first 10, 11 picks and just get an idea what teams need and what teams might do. How's that?
All righty.
So I think it's foregone at the top. I don't think there's anybody has any doubt what the Jaguars need. It doesn't matter if they need the offensive lineman. They're going to take Trevor Lawrence. And, Jeff, it's one of those picks where if 5 years from now we go back and say, hey, he's the next Ryan Leaf, none of us will be able to blame the Jacksonville Jaguars for a bad pick.
Well, no, of course not. I mean, it's the whole entire draft the last couple of years seems to be focused on one player. Okay, and that's who is going number 1 and who they project to be number 1.
Correct.
If that player fails, that's it. A couple of years ago, it was supposed to be Sam Darnold. He slipped to number 3 or number 2, whatever the Jets were picking. Number 3. I believe.
Number 3. Yeah,
okay, he slipped to number 3.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
And Saquon and him. Yeah.
Yeah. Saquon. Yes.
Future Hall of Famer. Gotcha.
Oh yeah. All right. Okay.
You know what, Jeff? There are certain picks. Listen, the Jets traded up. Everybody loved the Jets being aggressive. They went and got Sam Darnold. I don't think there was a Jet fan in the world who was against the pick, and it failed. Do we blame the Jets for that? Because I think anybody in that situation was thrilled to get Sam Darnold at 3. Most teams thought that he wouldn't even be there at 3.
No, of course you can't blame the Jets. You can't blame them for that. But listen, the whole entire league was expecting him to go first.
Correct.
I remember sitting in your house that night.
Yep.
Expecting Baker Mayfield to be a New York Jet.
Correct. Everybody did.
Okay, and it didn't happen that way. And the Browns threw a wrench in the works right off the bat.
Yep.
And everybody in New York breathed a sigh of relief because they were like, holy shit, now we got, Sam Darnold, and this is excellent and everything else. But you don't know. I don't think that's going to be the case this year. And with this draft, I don't see that. Definitely don't see that. But
I think you don't know. Yeah, the point I think I'm making is there are certain picks. Now, listen, a few years ago, the Chicago Bears traded up 1 pick to go get Mitchell Trubisky. Everybody knocked it that night. And, of course, it turned out to fail. So, of course, you can knock a pick like that. But when a team takes Trevor Lawrence or takes Sam Darnold or takes Ryan Leaf, a guy that everybody, all the experts said was a can't-miss guy, and then it fails, it's hard to blame the team. Now, listen, it still hurts the team, but you can't kill the team for making it happen. I think that's my point in that.
You can't blame a team for anybody that's a loss. I mean, you have 32 teams in the league. How many of them say, wow, I wish we were in a position to draft this guy. We wish that we could do this, or that would be our guy. And then, somebody else drafts him and it just doesn't work out. Maybe it's a bad system. Maybe the guy was coached wrong. There's a lot of different things. Most of the times he just sucks.
Robinson as a scientist.
Right. Sorry.
And it happens. But in certain cases, the guy is just either A, really, really bad, or like in the Jets situation last year that just passed when you had Adam Gase as coach, you have a horrendous coach that just simply can't get the team going. And of course, because the player that you picked was a number one draft pick, everybody's going to be on him and placing blame on him because it's who the scapegoat is. This is the golden child.
No,
and if you don't do what he's got to do, somebody's got to take the blame.
Yeah. So listen, we the likelihood, and I think the definition, the first 3 picks of the draft will be quarterbacks. There is some thought process to some people have that the Atlanta Falcons could take a quarterback at number 4. I don't see it. While I do believe that there is a thought process that it's time to make that move and bring in the next guy to replace. To bring back to bring the next guy who can replace Matt Ryan. I don't think this is the draft to make that leap. If I'm them, I still believe they'll take Pitts from Florida, the tight end. But Jeff, can you see that happening anywhere in there for Atlanta, taking a quarterback at this point in time?
Tom, you don't know because there's been a roulette of these guys. I mean, I heard of Mac Jones.
Yep.
I heard of Justin Fields. I heard of Trevor Lawrence, of course. Then all of a sudden, Zach Wilson came onto the scene. I really didn't hear much of him. Then you had Trey Lance. Trey Lance may be the most talked about quarterback right now at this point in time, even more so than Trevor Lawrence.
More people. Most people think he will be the number 3 pick in the draft. That he's jumped ahead of Mac Jones. I don't see it. I'd be shocked. I'll be a little surprised.
I don't know where his standing is as far as where is he going to get picked, but I would say that I wouldn't shock me no matter what happens. No matter what, unless they picked him number 1, nothing else would shock me. It wouldn't shock me if the Jets took him. Wouldn't shock me if he falls down. I mean, they have him going this far down. Not just him and Justin Fields and Mac Jones. They have one of them going as far down as New England. Maybe Denver. You don't know. It's so odd to see that they can't really I know that drafting. When you're trying to guess who it is, it's not a science, of course.
No
but it's just strange how they can't figure out even remotely where these guys are definitely going to go, other than Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson. And to tell you the truth, are the Jets doing the ultimate smokescreen right now? Because a lot of people are saying that Zach Wilson shouldn't be the number 1 or number 2 pick in the draft.
There are a lot of people who seem to think that Justin Fields is the better guy. Again, I think it's what you're looking for. I watched, and I'm going to bring it up for you now. I got the highlights from Zach Wilson, and I think he's a good player. He reminds me a lot of Chad Pennington. It's BYU. He did not have a great junior year 2 years ago. He had a good year this year. Competition's light. You can run down these quarterbacks, Jeff, and I can tell you. Okay, so Justin Fields, there's some questions about his work ethic. There's some questions about him playing with any sort of pressure in his face, how well he's played that way. Trey Lance hasn't played for a year, and when he played, he was in a small school. There's some questions about, is he NFL ready? How long will it take? Zach Wilson, again, same thing. Played at BYU, didn't really have a lot of pressure on him this year. How good can these guys be? I think from 2 to 5, there's a lot of question.
What questions is there? You got Trevor Lawrence, who's the number 1 pick.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. He won a championship or 2 with Clemson.
1-1.
Okay.
Yep.
You have Justin.
Yep, Justin Fields.
Justin Fields, who played against them a couple times and was in the championship game against Mac Jones.
Yep.
So I mean, these were the 3 top quarterbacks coming, ending the season, coming into the off season.
Oh yeah.
So to me, it's like Zach Wilson came out of nowhere, and Trey Lance came out of nowhere.
Trey Lance
I was all set.
Yep.
And I remember talking to Roger Starbuck. Okay. I remember texting you watching that championship game and telling you that here's the Jets quarterback, Justin Fields, getting ready to play that game. And then all of a sudden he's listed as maybe the 4th or 5th quarterback out of the top 5.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I will tell you that none of these guys, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, I watch college football every week. You watch a lot of it this year. These were guys that were very rarely talked about by anybody. And again, Trey Lance didn't even play this year. He opted. There was no season for those guys until the spring, and he decided not to play, which I understand. So there was a lot of guys talked about in college football, and these guys weren't it. Now I say, is this hype where we all know that people want to hear about the quarterbacks and then they want to hear about wide receivers, and going into a draft with one guy, maybe isn't this sexy, Jeff? Could that be a hype policy by the NFL?
I don't know about that. What do they got to lose? They're going to make money no matter who wins, or no matter who gets drafted and what position. They don't care. They're just a money-making machine. I think they have a printing press down in their basement.
Yeah,
they're just going to continue to print whatever it is that they want. That's the least.
No, I agree, but my point is, most casual fans want to see who the quarterbacks are going to, where they're going to go. I mean, that's what everybody's talking about. This draft has 5 guys. I've seen mock drafts where all 5 guys are gone in the top 10. I've seen mock drafts where these guys last, like you said, down the road a little bit. So, to me, is this the most talented football quarterback class I've ever seen? No, it's not nearly as good as some. Is it as good? Let me ask you this. Compare these guys to a couple years ago when you had, 5 guys come out and Allen and Lamar Jackson, Josh Rosen, Sam Darnold, and Baker Mayfield. That class is, 2 out of 5 maybe at this point.
Well, listen, here's something to compare that class to this class. Okay. They said that the kid from Buffalo, Josh Allen.
Yep.
Strong arm. He's going to need work. Sam Rosen, right? Sam, his name was Sam.
Josh Rosen.
What's that?
Josh Rosen.
No, not Josh Rosen.
It was Josh Rosen. Sam Rosen's the announcer for the Rangers.
Okay.
Josh Rosen. There was 2 Joshes.
Okay, 2 Joshes. Okay. He's the most pro-ready out of all of them. Most pro-ready. Okay. He was the first one out of the league. Lamar Jackson, drafted 32nd, was in the playoffs MVP. Baker Mayfield, drafted 1st overall. He just signed his 5th year.
Mm-hmm.
They just took his 5th year, so it's like, Sam Darnold, everybody wanted to suck for Sam, and and then I'm telling you, man, I think this is his last year in the NFL. I disagree.
I disagree.
I don't see him as a starter next year at this time.
Here's the thing. I'll say this, Jeff, and it's Jeff and Tom. We're running through the first round of the NFL draft. We're about 27 minutes before the first pick. I don't think it's. I think it's a no-brainer. I think the biggest question is how long will the Jaguars make us wait for the pick? Will they run the whole 15 minutes? Will they make this go quick? I think that's about the only question we have there. The same thing for the Jets. Will the Jets go right away and do us all a favor? Could the Jets stay on the clock for 10 minutes and see if they get any better offers?
But then, what? If they had another quarterback on the roster, I could see them maybe taking an offer, listening to an offer. But if you're Joe Douglas and you don't make this pick right now, I think you would have to. You better not be in New York State.
Yeah, I listen. I think because they traded Sam, you couldn't possibly trade down unless you knew you were coming back with a pro level quarterback. I don't think that'll happen. So I think unless there's a miracle in here, the Jets will take Zach Wilson. The intrigue starts at 3. That's where this draft starts. So we're glad you guys are sticking around with us. We got lots of intrigue once we get past that. Cincinnati go receiver. I firmly believe Cincinnati will go receiver, although on my draft board, I have them taking Penei Sewell, who seems to drop a little bit here. So we'll see. The Dolphins, I think the Dolphins will go receiver first, and then they'll go with a defensive player. Detroit, Jeff, is where it gets interesting. Does Detroit trade down? That's the first place I see a possibility for a trade down. Some people say quarterback. Some people are talking about, wide receiver. I think that's one of the first places the receivers could go. The Detroit Lions are an up in the air here for me. What's your thought process?
I see a couple different things for them. I've seen some people say they pick a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Between who's left. I've seen Trey Lance going there. I've seen Justin Fields going there. I don't think you see Mac Jones connected to them.
I have not seen Mac Jones connected to me either. Yeah.
I just don't understand. They make the trade. They trade Matthew Stafford.
Yep.
And they get a quarterback that went to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I would. You know what? I don't know if I would waste a pick.
I agree.
Quarterback. I would want to see what he could do. Because let's face it, this team has been bad for so long. You have no. You ain't gonna have anything to lose by seeing what he has. No,
I agree. And they have a lot of needs. Now, do you know, they have a big need on defense. So you can go there's, defensive linemen in this draft are not great. I think you take them later on in the draft. Defensive, but I think corners, there are two really good ones in J.C. Horn and Patrick Surtain. You can reach a little bit for Caleb Farley, who's got some back issues. You can absolutely go receiver at that point and give Jared Goff the best receiver in the draft probably at that point. So I think Detroit could go also meet Parsons and go linebacker. So Detroit's interesting. They could trade down if they got the right offer. I don't see it, but that's a tough one. Now Carolina and the Broncos, Jeff, are the interesting ones. Carolina just traded away Teddy Bridgewater. They have not picked up the 50-year option on Sam Darnold.
No, that's why I say that Darnold's his time is limited, man.
I got you. Now they need some help over there. Carolina could use a quarterback, probably a wide receiver, tight end, a tackle. They could use a guard center. So there's a lot of stuff they could do. This is a team that could trade down. I think if there's a spot to be traded up for, this is the one. And I would tell you to watch for two teams, the Redskins and the Patriots. I think the Patriots are dying to get Mac Jones or Justin Fields. I've heard them linked to Justin Fields, but I think it's Mac Jones. And I think if somebody's available at the 8th spot, I could see easily the Patriots jumping up to get that guy that they want because they need a quarterback.
I've seen all three of those guys connected to the Patriots.
Yeah, I agree with you. But I think I don't see Belichick going for Trey Lance because Trey Lance is years away, if at all. So I think he's going more to the sure guy. I think it's Mac Jones because I think Mac Jones is that pocket presence with a little bit of athleticism, enough to be better than Brady was as far as athleticism goes. So I think that's an interesting spot. Now Denver, Jeff, makes the trade for Bridgewater. They already have Drew Lock, who started last year. And everybody would have thought they would possibly for a quarterback. Do you think that they go quarterback there with one of the last quarterbacks on the board and then let that guy sit behind Teddy for a year or two? Do they try to build around Teddy Bridgewater? I don't see that. Or is Teddy Bridgewater the backup to Drew Lock?
Man, I don't see Teddy Bridgewater being the backup for Drew Lock, but I also don't see Denver going after a quarterback in that situation. The one thing I will tell you, I don't see it happening, but I really hope that the quarterbacks, at least the top 5, are snatched up before New England and Bill Belichick even have a chance at doing anything. I really do.
Well, I think there's a chance one of them will still be there because once you get past the Broncos, Cowboys, Giants, Eagles, Chargers, and Vikings aren't taking quarterbacks.
Well, now the Eagles might.
See, now, again, that's a great point because I've had a few people bring that up, and I've seen it a few places, but I don't think that they could really go quarterback after trading Wentz and putting all their eggs in the Jalen Hurts basket.
Well, who says they put all of their eggs in the Jalen Hurts basket?
Do you take number 1 this year?
Jalen Hurts just happens to be the quarterback on the team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, again, I get your point. I just think that it would be a tough sell. Here's a team, Jeff, who's hurting. They're probably the worst team in the worst division, and you spend your first round pick on a quarterback that to back up essentially the quarterback you got used to replace the guy you drafted number 1 a couple. You know what I'm saying? Like this would be if they took a quarterback number 1. I think it's the biggest. Good. You can draft the guy that works out, Jeff. I'm just saying, to me, it would cause a lot of ripples in Philadelphia.
I'm sure it would. But, I mean, Jalen Hurts, I didn't hear a lot of good things about him. I heard his
I agree.
Season hasn't been all that great.
Yeah.
And everything else. So, I mean, they don't have anything to lose. at this point, what do they have to lose by taking some a quarterback in this round? Especially, isn't the coach that started this year is a new coach? He's not connected to the quarterback.
Correct. No, this is his first year, and Peterson's a guy who basically did the whole Wentz Hurts thing. So yeah, he's gone, and so the new coach, his name has left me, but yeah, it's a tough one, Jeff. I don't disagree. It's not out of the realm of possibilities, but if you're them and the two guys on your board, or as one guy maybe at that point, whether it's Fields or probably Trey Lance, are you wasting the number 12 pick in the draft? After you took the number 2 last year in the draft to draft a quarterback to replace the number 1 you took 3-4 years ago, it's a tough move.
Yeah, it is.
Tough move, guys. So, Hard Rocket Sports, Jeff, Tom, here till about 9:30, 10. We're going over the NFL draft. Lots of stories. There's still stuff hanging in sports. We'll get to that in a little bit. I guess my pops didn't check in tonight, so we'll getting rid of the radio feed. We're on we're on together on live on our Facebook page and the YouTube page. So thanks for checking in with us tonight. Hopefully you'll keep us on and get our perspective. We're hoping to have Frank Jeffrey, Matt Salitri, maybe Mike Passamante all popping in for various times just to kind of give their perspective. It'd be nice to get a few people involved. Jeff, we're getting to the Cowboys and the Giants and the Eagles. As bad as the NFC East was, 3 teams in a row from their division. So it's interesting here. First up is the Cowboys. It's interesting in the fact that most people around the connected to the NFL say that Jones wants Jerry Jones wants to get Pitts, the tight end from Florida, but he'd have to move all the way up to probably number 4 to get him. I don't see that happening, and he's not going to fall that far. So the Cowboys are probably going to – I see Cowboys going defense, bringing up my beloved Giants, who you have had mock drafts all week, and I've seen your picks. Do you want to officially tell people who you think the Giants will be drafting in the first round this year, or are you going to hold that to yourself?
Giants are going to go with one of 2 positions. They're either going to go after left tackle. Go ahead, ask me why.
Why, Jeff?
Because the one that they picked out last year is a bust. Or they're going to go quarterback. Thank you. Or they're going to go quarterback. You can ask me why.
Why, Jeff?
Because Daniel Jones sucks. Wait a minute. And one other common denominator with those 2 players.
Go ahead, Jeff.
They were both selected by Mr. David Gettleman, one of the worst general managers in New York football history. And I see Matt, that's a very good point right there. Parsons, of course the Giants would take him. This guy's one step away from going to jail. I would love to see that pick. I really would. I would love to see that pick. Kwity Paye, he's got an inspirational story, this kid, Kwity Paye. Did you know that?
Doesn't matter. Neither one of those 2 guys are going to be New York Giants this year.
Well, you don't know. You don't know. I would rather see Kwity Paye go than Parsons.
Hold on. I forgot one thing. Go ahead. Keep going.
I would rather see Paye get on there instead of Parsons. Parsons might not make it to the end of the season with the shit that he does. He's got very questionable attitude and everything else. And there's a lot of teams. What the fuck is that?
I have the Giant phone. I'm connected straight to my man Gettleman.
There's no Star of David on that phone.
Hold on. What's up, Dave? Yes. I know Jeff hates the Giants and he voted for de Blasio. Don't hold it against him. All right, Dave, get back to the draft board. Get me a receiver. All right, Dave, call back.
Yeah. Listen,
says he doesn't like you very much.
I don't give a fuck about him. Speaking of de Blasio, I'm telling you right now, okay, I will not have you rip on this man until after he signs the early retirement so that I can get the fuck out of here by my birthday. Okay?
You're going to make me root against it because I hate that guy, but that's okay. I'm saying, here's the thing. The Giants are in a position. Hey, Catalano, I loved the trade for Bridgewater, and I still believe that the Broncos will draft a quarterback tonight. I firmly believe that they've set themselves up to get a quarterback in, let him sit behind Bridgewater for a year, or mentor this kid if they do go with him next year. It's a good trade for both teams and especially for the Broncos. Matt, I know you're wishing us to take Parsons or Kwity Paye, but it won't happen. I firmly believe Gettleman will not take a rusher.
Didn't Kwity Paye? Something happened. He came from Africa or something.
It's not in my notes. I can't tell you. I can't.
Didn't he come from Africa?
Now, yeah, yes, and yes, I did the cleanest player, maybe Rashawn Slater, and I would have no problem with the Giants taking Slater. At that point, if they go offensive lineman, one of those two guys, if they go receiver or corner, I'm really good with it. Anybody else would be a stretch for me at this point. So I'm not sure how I feel about it. So we'll see. We'll see how he plays out. We're about 14 minutes from the draft. Hold on, I'm hoping for 1 3
Before we go any further, just wanted to real quick wish old producer there, Nick Marino.
Yes.
Did you hear from him today?
I did. I'm at Frank. I don't see any ray in the world. He wants to go there, but doesn't make any sense now. You got Bridgewater. You're going to bring in another quarterback. I'd be shocked if that went there, but that would have been nice to have known that a couple days ago if you were the Broncos. Yes, I spoke to Nicky recently, and things are looking much better. His testing went really well. I think that within 3 to 5 years they can have this under control, and the outlook is really good. So for anybody who doesn't know, our former producer and our dear friend Nick Marino was diagnosed with former leukemia, and we're glad to see that the outlook and the news is good. So I'm happy to say I said a few prayers for my friend, and glad to see that he's fighting, and there's a lot good chance he's going to be okay.
Also, another friend of the show, Lou Toro.
Oh yes,
had a heart attack yesterday, and Lou may be home tomorrow.
Oh, that's great news. You had some stints put in and all that, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, listen, good. Listen, Lou. If you're listening, you're probably not, but if you are, our best wishes to you, and get well soon, sir. Get back to rocking and rooting for our Yankees and the Rangers and everything else. So that's a good job by you, Jeff, bringing that up. That's a really good.
I said just watching what Matt wrote. Unbelievable story with that kid Kwity Paye, man, and what happened over there. Wow.
Yeah, listen, but again, we're not drafted based on stories.
No, but I was watching some of the clips on him that the NFL channel had on him, and they seem to be pretty high on him. Definitely a first-round pick. Just a matter of where he's going. Yeah,
I mean, listen, a lot of people have the Giants in the ballpark of taking him. I just would not. I think at number 11, it's a bit of a stretch, and there's a lot of issues there. I'm just trying to find my notes on Kwity Paye because I did make some notes on him. Sewell, Kwity Paye. Okay, let's see. Do I have him? Let's see. Where's my note? Okay, yeah. So really quick, 6.71 on his drip, but played 4.3 and good closing speed and again, a good player. Let's see, Michigan. Again, it's. I don't believe that any of the edge rushers, any of the defensive linemen in this draft should be drafted any higher than probably 15. I don't think any of them are super ready to play pro football tomorrow, which is a big point. Jeff, while we're waiting for the draft to start in about 11 minutes, I want to bring up COVID to you a little bit. I know we're both tired of COVID and all the bullshit that goes along with it, but a lot of players opted out, this year. Some opted out because they had health issues. Some opted out because family had health issues. Some opted out because they just took advantage of the system and now will be out of football well over a year. Some guys, I think Trey Lance will, by the time football starts, will have not played football in 20 months.
Yeah, I know it's a little bit longer than just a season for him.
Yeah,
he play a full season.
My thought process is, and we talked about it a little bit last week with Matt and Frank. If you have two guys and they're relatively close on your board, does that affect him opting out and not playing during that and maybe not showing his love of the game? Would that affect your grade? Maybe give one guy just a little bit more of a grade because he played, the other guy didn't?
I don't know if it would affect how I think he feels about the game. I don't think you can fault anybody for worrying about their health and their family's health. But you would definitely have more to go on the other player because they actually played a season or part of a season or a full season. So I think that, it's going to impact the player that opted to sit out without a doubt.
Yeah.
I just think that that's just common sense. How could it not impact him? But
again, I think if you're an NFL, if you're a guy and you look at Waddle and Smith, and again, there's some similar, there's some stuff, same program. One guy's, people are a little scared of Smith because he's a little on the smaller side. I think the NFL is a different league now. I do believe that smaller players can play in this league and be productive, as opposed to years ago where they were kind of like an anomaly. So to me, I'm not scared of Smith, but if I was picking between the two and thought they were equal, then I kind of got to go, hey, you know what? I'll take the guy who played last year. No medical. So this is a tough year a little bit, Jeff. A lot of the bowl games, the All-Star Bowls were canceled. There wasn't a true measure of a season this year. It's a tougher year to evaluate players, especially ones that haven't played in. There's guys who played in 18, didn't play in 19 or 20 that are in this draft.
That's pretty sick, man.
Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting to see where it goes. I think if I'm the Giants, I don't want to trade down. I don't think that helps. And yes, Matt, I know that you can grab the second round pick. You get another pick out of this, but to me, I want an impact player, Jeff. I want a guy who's going to come in and make an immediate impact on my team.
Oh, for the Giants?
For the Giants.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping not, Tom. I'm kind of hoping that they get a total bust. Maybe they go after, somebody that, I don't know, like that Gettleman has an affinity for.
Dave, Jeff's talking shit about you again, Dave. Chet, you want to talk to him, Dave? He's too busy.
Yeah, let me talk to him.
He's too busy right now. What?
Talk to him.
He's going to call you. He's going to call you back. We got the phone. We're dialed.
I don't think that one. Let me see the cord that gets plugged into the wall.
It's Wi-Fi. It's Bluetooth.
Yeah. Okay.
Bluetooth. Jeff and Tom here. We're about 7 minutes from the start of the draft. We will be watching with fever. Jeff, first two picks are going to go quick, or they're not going to go quick?
I think they'll go quick. I think they will.
And
but what I got to do is I got to get my stuff ready for my picks.
Good.
I got to get my iPad. I got to charge it. I got to get a beverage.
Good.
So watch what you got to do. I'll be right back while I get my stuff together.
Sure, good. I'll get Hard Rocket Sports. Jeff and Tom here. We're going to be counting down We're going to count down. We're going to be going through all the picks of the draft. So make sure you got to stick with us a little bit. You know what? We're going to have some fun. We'll talk a little bit about of everything here. Again, next week, guys, we'll come back. We'll kind of break down the draft and what goes on tonight and over the weekend. And then the 13th, we got Ross the Boss checking in with Jeff and myself. And down the road, Granny Four Barrel and a lot of spots. So we give me a minute on a little bit of basketball. The Knicks have been playing some good basketball. And what I love about this Knicks team, guys, is they play every night. Randall, Barrett, Rose, these guys play every single night. They play defense. You know what? I don't care how far they go into the playoffs. I love the future of this team. It's so much fun to watch. Now, again, it's still too many threes. They toss the ball around a little bit, but they play defense and they play every night. We'll talk a little baseball real quick. Neither team can hit. Nobody hits with you put a runner on second base, and neither one of these teams can hit the ball. It just doesn't happen. Neither team hit the ball with a runner on base. The Mets, I think a little further ahead than the Yankees. They better pitching. DeGrom, phenomenal. Now, let's start with the comparisons to Sandy Koufax and Tom Seaver. It's 3 years. Give me a couple more seasons like this. I'll have the conversation with you. Don't give me this 3 years in and 3 years of this quality pitching, and all of a sudden he's Sandy Koufax, okay, or Tom Seaver. It's not there yet. Again, do it a couple more years, we can have that conversation. Mets can't hit, Yankees can't hit. Yankees play terrible defense as well. I love the fact that Sanchez got his ass sat on the bench for a couple games, and I hope they give Kashioka much more playing time. But this Yankee team is going to have a tough year. the way it's going right now. There's a possibility that this team does not make the playoffs and not more than a 500 team. So we'll see. It's going to be an interesting season. We're going to do a lot more baseball next week. There's a few things I want to get to tonight. Beside that, we have a lot of time to kill. We'll talk about the players, the trades, and everything goes along with it. So we'll see as it goes. Jeff's back on the mic. Jeff, I want to recommend a couple things to you before we get back to football. A&E every week, every Sunday night, has a different documentary. I've seen so far Stone Cold, Steve Austin was a really good one. This week was Roddy Piper. Coming up is the Macho Man this Sunday. And afterwards, they have this thing called the WWE. I think it's called Hidden Treasures. And what they do is the first one was Mick Foley, and they get him to come in, and the WWE has a warehouse. All the old memorabilia and all the different things that they use to do the matches, different outfits and coffins and whatever. But they're missing a lot of the stuff that they want to use. They say 95%, but I don't think it's quite that much. They are missing, and they send these guys out with this wannabe wrestler guy, and they go and they try to track down the items that are missing. Really cool show. I watched this week's episode was The Undertaker and King.
I saw a picture of that happening.
Yes, it was a lot of fun to watch. If you get a chance on Sunday nights, DVR it. It's on a little late. It comes on at 10 right after the documentaries. But if you're a wrestling fan out there, try to catch A&E Sunday nights at 8 for the documentaries, and at 10 o'clock for the Hidden Treasures. I think it's so much fun and to watch. And I'll definitely be sending out a reminder to you and your wife so you can, at the very least, DVR it. You'll have a lot of fun. It's also on their app, on the in demand. You can catch the shows afterwards. It's a really, really cool thing. So I'm just wanted to give you a heads up on that.
Okay.
But Jeff, we are 3 minutes from the draft. I'm waiting for my app to kick in over here so I can kind of share it in with us. It seems like it's real close. Let's see. I am just hitting the start button on it now. Let's see if we go live to the NFL draft. Let's see. Yes. Let's see. Are you hearing this at all? No, not yet, right?
Hear it, yeah.
Oh, you do? Let's see if I can share it. And there it is, Jeff. So we'll be able to kind of keep it on the screen and see what we see here. We'll have some fun and hopefully. Now
you got that on
ESPN, ESPN.com. I went
ESPN on what? The watch where it says watch?
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Oh, you got to be fucking kidding me.
What? What's the matter?
No, my app says I got to update ESPN. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Oh. So again, be prepared.
Lots. Listen, Jeff, we got quarterbacks going early. We got receivers going early. We got possible trades happening. I think the one team, Jeff, number 3 pick will probably go down to the last second. I also think the number 4 pick might go down to the last second to see what trade offers are made out there. So it's going to be interesting. We got a little bit of a guest just popped up, Jeff. Let's get our good friend Frank Jeffrey on to see what his thoughts are before this all gets started. What's up, Frankie G?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
What's up, Frank? What's going on, man?
What's up, Jeff? How's it going, bud?
Good.
So you ready for the draft?
Yeah. Listen, Frank, it's 3 minutes. It's kind of the start of the NFL season again. It's almost like the beginning of the year. We got fresh teams, fresh players. We got all sorts of intrigue here.
Everybody's undefeated.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, even the Jets. Even the Jets.
Even the Jets are undefeated.
So, but Frank, real quick, I mean, what's your thoughts on this Aaron Rodgers thing going around?
Yeah, I heard that. At first, I thought it was like a joke, and then I saw it on Twitter, and I was like, whoa. I knew it was coming. I thought it was coming earlier than this because, even with the Jeopardy thing, and then there was a couple of times he goes on that guy's blog all the time.
Yeah.
And they asked him about his future and this, and he's like, the future ain't in my hands. He goes, I'm just going to play. I don't know what to do. You know, he sounded like he had enough.
Well, it's interesting. I think, but the question is if they turn down the number 3 pick in the draft and Jimmy Garoppolo
for him,
what could the team really offer that would make any sense?
I I don't know because, like you said, the number 3 and Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, why wouldn't you take that?
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, if you were gonna trade him, to me, you know, what more could you get from you getting a? I don't want to say a proven, but you got a quarterback that's gone to the NFL to the Super Bowl.
Right.
You're getting the number 3 pick in the draft. I mean, what more could
and you won't have to take a quarterback with the number 3 pick because you still got Love there.
Right. So I mean, you know, it's a
win-win.
Listen, I mean, there's a reason why they won't trade him, and that's because that Jordan Love's not the guy.
Yeah.
Jordan Love is not the guy, and I said it last year when they drafted him. I'll say it again. So we'll see.
I agree 100%. I agree. 100%.
Yeah. So I think Jeff and I are in lockstep on that one. I think the first comes down to I think they're gonna keep the pick, the 49ers. The intrigue starts at 3, 4, and 5. What happens there? So
it definitely does. 3, 4, and 5 is like you said.
And it's only a matter of who they're taking at 3, and then at 4, do the Falcons go quarterback? Do they go Pitts? Do they go offensive line? Do they trade down? There's the first team that could possibly trade down. So
that's where to me, if they don't take a quarterback, it depends on who's. And I said this when we talked the last time. It really depends on who San Francisco takes, because I think there's people out there that really they won't care about Mac Jones as much as they will Fields, and I think there's teams that will go up to get him.
Jeff, do you agree with that? Do you think that these teams, depending on who the quarterback is, would jump all the way up?
Yeah, of course, man. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to be watching that, without a doubt. Pick number 3 is very important. You could see a whole different draft depending on who goes at 3.
Yeah, because there'll be like 2 or 3 teams that'll jump up if it's Mac Jones, and it'll be 2 or 3 different teams that'll jump up for Fields.
Exactly.
Yeah, listen, it's going to be interesting. I think, you know, it gets a little interesting after I've heard, you know, Sewell's name, Penny Sewell, as early as number 5 with the Bengals, but I've seen a bunch of people thinking he could drop, and we might not see any offensive lineman in the first round of the draft, the first 10 picks of the draft. Excuse me. Let me change that. So, yeah. I mean, I think there's a premium on the quarterbacks, a premium on the receivers, and defensive backs. And there's two offensive linemen I think can go early, which would be Slater and Sewell. And I've also seen both slide. So
right.
Me
being a Dolphin fan, I want him to go to Cincinnati.
Sure.
Because even if Atlanta takes Pitts, that still leaves me Chase.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think at that point you have your choice of either 3. See, to me, I think there's very little difference between all those 3 guys. The only difference to me, I think that Devontae Smith, and I think Jeff likes Smith best, but I think Smith is a home run hitter. That's a guy who's just flat out fast. A little small, but flat out fast.
I'd be worried about his size, man. He's way small, that kid.
But Jeff, I think the NFL is a different league now. You know,
dude, a 300-pound man falling on a 160-pound man is a 140-pound difference. That's a big difference, dude.
No, I guess, but you got to catch him.
You can't hit what you can't catch.
Yeah, true. You got to catch him. But if they do catch him,
yes, agreed. But Frank's right. You got to catch him. Listen, so Frank, you know, this is about to kick off in about 2 minutes, I think. Real quick, Frank, give me what's your top 10 picks? Give me your what's your biggest question in the top 10?
In the top 10. Believe it or not, like I said, it's really that the biggest question I still have is that number 3. And if Atlanta decides to hold on to that 4 or trade out of that 4, I mean, that's everybody's question, you know. And then when you get to 5, it's like you said, are they going to really take a wide receiver when Burrows has no offensive line at all? That's the team I could see picking a lineman, because they're going to get that kid killed if they don't get some kind of protection.
Well,
I mean,
again,
I know you can pick up more in the later rounds.
Well, that's my point.
Top guys.
But think about it, Frank. You know that the NFL is littered with offensive linemen. You know, in the 2nd, 3rd, 5th round. I mean, the Giants' best offensive linemen. Some of those guys were 5th round picks. They heal. You know, some of those guys are 3rd round picks. I mean, so I get your point. I don't think that you can pass on a great player, but if Sewell is not rated as high as the linemen as the receivers are in this draft for you right. Can do that. And then listen, there's going to be some bloodbath after the draft. There's going to be guys out there who get let go. camp time.
Yep.
You know,
there's so many different things.
Right. So if you don't have Sewell rated as high as you do some of these other guys, if he's 5-6 players down, and then you take him just for need,
right?
You could hit yourself.
You're right. You will be able to fill. Offensive linemen are easy to fill in the later part of the draft.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Hey Jeff, and you're picking 3, 4, and 5 in those early rounds. Are you locked into your biggest need, or are you locked into best player?
Dude, I think at that point in time, you got to see who's coming up and available to you at that point in time. If you know that you're going to fill a need, why are you going to go with best player available? If say best player available is a safety, but yet you need a linebacker, and the linebacker you want and you covered is there. So why are you going to take best player available when the need that you have is like, okay, this guy dropped 3 places further down than we thought, and we got to take him. So I think it depends on the player and the situation of the team.
Yeah, I have this thought in my head that you can kind of do both sometimes, but I think when you get to when you're picking, especially early in the draft, top 10, top 12, I think you have to kind of marry the two if possible, and if it's close enough that you can fill a need with a player that's within a pick or two of what's left on the board, I think you have to go to fill the need.
I think, like you said, I would go for need first too.
Yeah.
But like you said, Tom, if there's a generational type player like
correct,
okay, does Atlanta really need another wide receiver with Ridley? Everybody always forgets about poor Gage.
Yeah,
he's there and he's good.
But you are hearing the rumors, Frank. The rumors are that they want to trade Julio Jones, which would lend me to believe that they want Pitts to become that type of player,
right?
And feature him. So to me, if they keep in Julio Jones, do they go a different direction? I still think Pitts winds up there. I don't see them making the quarterback move. I think Ryan's still got a few years left in him, and I think that's how they feel. They're going to make one more run at this with Ryan.
Right.
So I would be shocked, Jeff, if they went quarterback instead of and tried to replace Matt Ryan in this draft.
I don't think they're going to go quarterback. Like you said, first of all, think about it this way. If you try to trade Matt Ryan, what are you going to get for him? Is it better to try to win with him or try to trade and get something else for him? He's a little bit older, so I don't think that it's a good idea to try to trade him at this point in time. I would rather try to get a few pieces, because then you would still have pieces in place when you decide to move on from Matt Ryan too.
The problem with that, Jeff, is with where Atlanta is right now. Let's say you're gonna go with Matt Ryan for next year, no matter what. You don't go quarterback, right? Now Matt Ryan shits the bed. He's terrible next year. There's really no quarterbacks coming out of college next year that you could call a franchise type quarterback to replace him. So now you might be 2-3 years before you get that replacement. What are you going to do then? You're going to be screwed.
Well, listen,
you it now.
You're right, but last year at this time nobody was saying anything about Zach Jones.
Yes,
and now everybody thinks highly of Zach Jones.
Zach Wilson, Mac Jones, Zach Wilson. Yeah.
I
agree.
My memory is shot. So I mean, some of these guys do come up out of nowhere in a year. You don't know.
Yeah, Frankie. Listen, you and I watch a lot of college football. I don't remember Trey Lance being that big a story early in the year. Mac Jones was it kind of an afterthought. And I don't remember anybody talking about Zach Wilson before this year started. So you never know who's going to pop up next year. And I got to be honest with you, if I'm rating this draft class now, I don't have it very high. I think there's a significant difference. So I think people are buying into the top 5 guys because the hype is so big, and some of these teams need. Listen, I can see the Redskins, the Steelers, the Patriots. There's a host of teams that need quarterbacks. But is it worth moving up in this draft for the capital you got to give up to get one of these guys? I just don't see it.
Yeah, like you said, these guys are going to be really good. But I agree with you. It's hard to give up all that kind of cap. Like, look what San Francisco gave up to move up. It's hard to give up a lot of your future to move up for something like that. And like you said, I agree with you, Tom. There's a lot of positions, linebacker, edge rushers. They're okay, but they're just average players.
Yes.
I mean, wide receivers and corners, awesome.
Correct. I agree with you. I think even running backs, if you can go 5 deep in running backs, I obviously Najee Harris and Travis Etienne, and then you got the 2 kids from North Carolina, both those guys, Williams and Carter. And then you can even reach a little bit for Hubbard, who I don't really care for Chuba Hubbard because of the controversy he started this year. But there's some depth there. I think offensive line, there's a lot of depth. You can go Sewell, you could go with Slater, Tucker. You can go deep on some of those spots. But I think the defensive side, especially linebacker and defensive line, I think it's a stretch this year. Those guys, are late first round guys, and they'll go earlier because you're just going to be players there. But those
just because, like you said, you're going to need to fill the need.
Correct. But I think you're going to see. I don't think you're going to see a run on offensive linemen. I would be surprised offensive line. I would be surprised defensive line and linebackers, especially if there was a run early on any of those guys.
Right.
So we'll see. It's going to be fun. Frank, the Elway Manning thing, I don't think you need to recruit him. What's his name? Aaron Rodgers wants to play for the Broncos. He gave 3 teams. That was one of the 3 teams. It's a matter of the Green Bay wanting to trade him, and it doesn't look like they want to trade him at this point.
Yeah, that's it. That's the thing. I agree. The rumor has come out that he wants to go to the Broncos. He'll play with the Broncos.
Yeah.
He wants to go with a team that is a quarterback away from getting to the big game.
Yeah, but the Broncos aren't a quarterback away. He wants to go there because he wants to be closer to the West Coast for his girlfriend and his future. But you can't tell me that team's close. And the commissioner's coming up on stage, so we're gonna bring in when the commissioner's ready to go to the mic. We'll bring that up, and we'll listen to Roger Goodell open the draft from Cleveland this year right here on the Hard Rocket Sports Show. Jeff Delwinski, Tom Florio, and on all of us hanging here talking. Yes, I am, Jeff. Yes. Let's bring up the commissioner of the NFL and hear what he's got to say. But he's not in his basement this year, so that's I guess that's
yeah, that's a good thing.
Let's get a little volume on this somewhere. Where's my volume? Not seeing my volume. Oh, there it is.
Snacks, though. Appreciate it. By the way, great Jeopardy host. So if
let's get out of that. That's not the commissioner yet. We're waiting for the live feed to start.
Here I am thinking I could get the live thing. I can't.
Oh, you can't?
No, I got to put in my fucking all my information, which I don't know what the fuck I got.
Well, the commissioner's speaking on the NFL Network, but on my app here at ESPN, he's not up yet. So we'll wait till a lot happens and see what happens. But let's see where it brings it, guys. So let's see where else we're going to go with this. Let's see what else I want to talk about. All right, so out of the receivers, Frankie, what's your thought process? Who's your give me your breakdown of the top 3 guys. Is it Smith, Waddle, Chase, Smith, Waddle?
Yeah, I like it's very slight. I'll say very slight. It's Chase, Smith, Waddle, but I mean it's really depending on what your need is. If you need an X, you know what I mean, or you're gonna go for more of a slot or or a Z guy, it changes from there. But those 3 guys, it doesn't matter. They're top guys, and then it drops from there. But the other guys aren't bad. I mean, you got Beckman, you got a few other guys out there that could play, but those are the 3 guys, you want.
Right. Well, we'll see. We'll play it by year again. Hard Rocket Sports. We're waiting for the first pick in the draft. I know the commissioner speaking on TV. I got the draft up. The clock has not started on Jacksonville. I don't expect that to be much intrigue. What could they possibly be hanging on to? We'll see.
Do they start the first pick is made at like 8:30, isn't it?
No, 8:00. First pick is supposed to be 8:00. So it's
already quarter after. So
wow. Yeah, it is. I didn't realize it was that late already. Wow. Yeah. The commissioner speaking. Maybe it's 8:15. I saw it started at 8. They got 10 minutes per team. Again, like I said, I don't believe that every team will. They got somebody coming up on stage, I guess, to make the first pick. Listen, don't give me drama. Give me picks. I want to go back to the days where Pete Rozelle was sitting and smoking cigarettes in the Sheridan in Jersey, making these calls. It's too much pageantry and stuff. It's just getting to be a little too much, guys.
Yeah, I agree with you. Let's get going to the picks.
But you know what, Jeff? It's still better than last year watching Goodell in his sweater, sitting in his basement with the fire going.
And the TV's behind him.
Yeah.
Didn't Gettleman get lost or something, or he was sitting in his basement alone with a mask on or something stupid like that?
I don't remember
I
that.
remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. So I guess they're bringing in. They have, I believe, a lot of first responders and nurses and emergency room people.
Yeah, that's what
doctors.
they did.
Yeah, so I'm assuming she's in the chair for the first pick of the draft. I'm not sure what's going on. I don't have that feed on right now. I have the ESPN feed. I don't know if ESPN will be showing it everything. I kind of assume they would, but at the very least, we'll have the picks as they come up, and we'll be able to see who gets drafted. But we're waiting for Trevor Lawrence. I don't think there's any real drama here. I mean, I think the first drama really comes up in 3. The Jets should go pretty quick, guys. Frank, you have a breakdown on Zach Wilson and the Jets? What's your thought process on that first pick for the New York Jets?
I like Zach Wilson. He's strong. He could throw the ball well. He's got some movement. He's not, fast, but he's not a stay-at-home guy either. He can move around. I like that pick for them. What they did was, I hate to say this, Jeff, you got Sam Darnold. He's a little bit better than Sam Darnold, maybe. Restarted his clock where he's going to be on a rookie contract for the next 4 years.
No, I know that seems to be a big thing as of late.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something, Frank. In your opinion, it's pretty much a done deal. So everybody feels that Zach Wilson is going to get picked by the Jets. More importantly, who are they taking at number 23?
At number 23, if he's there, if I was the Jets and I was picking, I would pick Harris. I would get him a running back. Get him some weapons right away. They didn't get any weapons for Donald. As soon as you got your quarterback, now to prove that you were right to move Donald and get the new quarterback, you get him a weapon.
See, now I have Harris going to the Dolphins at that spot, but I changed my mind repeatedly because I think the Dolphins are going to have to take defense in one of these first 2 picks, and I don't see it being in the first one. So I think in that second pick, the Dolphins are taking the defense.
I think the Dolphins are going to take him at 18 too, but I think the Jets should pick a running back.
I agree with that.
The clock is moving, by the way.
Okay, so at 8:55 or 8:53 on the clock for the Jacksonville Jaguars are now on the clock. We'll see where that pick goes.
I'm at 8:10.
I am right now at 8:43 and counting. I don't. Maybe my ESPN one is slow. I'm not sure.
The streamers are always a little bit behind.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see where it plays out. But it's going to be an interesting. Jeff, for you, as a Jet fan, obviously this is a big pick. What this does is puts Douglas, Robert Saleh, the coach, and the quarterback all on the same clock. So right now, those 3 guys have 3 years to make this work.
Yeah.
And that's why I think they're going to go weapon. That's why I think they're going to go weapon 23 because they want to prove that they got it right.
Jeff, do you agree? Do you think that now Douglas, Saleh, and the quarterback are on the clock together? And if this doesn't work 3 years from now, we could see a change then?
Without a doubt, dude. Without a doubt. I don't think that they're going to give anybody that much time. So if it doesn't happen quick, if this team doesn't improve next year at this time, if this team's not improving, I think that they'll be on the hot seat.
Yeah.
They don't seem to have much in the way of confidence and giving these guys time. If it doesn't work right away, then that's it.
Yeah,
we move on.
No, I get it. And you don't get a lot of time to figure it out. So we'll see. It's they're on the clock right now. 6 minutes. I'm surprised it's taken this long. Maybe the NFL wants them to do it.
I think it's a courtesy for the team that's picking next, not to put your pick in too quick to give them,
Yeah, but you already got 10 minutes when the Jets go on the clock. They have 10 minutes. At this point, you've been talking for weeks, guys. How much more could you? I mean, to me, there's nobody's saying, "Let me see what happens with the Jaguars' first pick." I mean, sometimes you want to say, "Okay, let me see what happens with the guy before you." And then I'll make a decision whether I want to make a trade. Everybody knows where he's going with this.
Yeah.
So I don't. That's the part I don't get on on this one. So why we're waiting at 5 minutes? Maybe you're right, Jeff. Maybe Frank's right. Maybe the NFL and Goodell and them have a kind of a rule. Don't pick it too quick.
Yeah. I mean,
I
don't
remember
think they need to do the drama to go all the way down to the end, but like you said, I think they have, like they say, okay, at least wait 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes to put your pick in.
No, don't forget
You got to give ESPN and the NFL Network time to talk.
I guess.
What time does this end, the draft tonight?
It goes until the last pick. So I mean, if every team got 10
I know
minutes,
it goes to the last pick, but I mean, what is it? 11 o'clock, 12
I
o'clock?
would say it's 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
You're talking about
so-
32 picks, 10 minutes each, 320.
Yeah, you got to keep the time. You know what I mean?
320 minutes at a minimum. You know, I mean, unless teams call it, pick quicker. So I don't know. Yeah, I guess I'm not sure. Just like I said, I almost expected Goodell to come to the mic and say, "Okay, we're ready with the first pick in the draft."
Yeah, me too. I was waiting to say Jaguars on the clock and the pick is in.
Yeah. So let me ask you first. I mean, with this pick, does this move Jacksonville up in their division immediately? Do you see him making Trevor Lawrence making a huge difference in year one with this team?
No, I don't see that. I think that team needs so many different pieces. He's only part of it. They're going to have to have a pretty successful draft for that team to move that far up. I mean, maybe they move up to third place instead of fourth place? Maybe.
Frank,
I still think their division is too good for that.
Yeah, that they're in a strong division. They did get some help in free agency and stuff, but I agree with you, Jeff. They're in too strong of a division for them to make a big leap. I think they'll be competitive. I think they'll be better, but yeah, they're not going to improve that much.
Yeah, Tom Florio, Jeff Towinski, and Frank Jeffrey are so far hanging out watching the NFL draft. We're waiting 3 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock and I'm surprised. I'm a little surprised here with that it's taking this long to get the pick made. I don't know. I'd love somebody to ask that question. I mean, you got to figure ESPN, the NFL Network, everybody's got this loaded up and ready to go. Everybody knows who's going to be the number one pick. I don't think there's any question.
They haven't made the pick, and they're already showing highlights.
Yeah, I mean, so Jeff, I mean, I know I'm making a big deal out of this, but just to me, it's kind of crazy that we're still waiting.
Yeah, it has to have something to do with the TV and the length of the show. It has to.
Maybe.
What else could it possibly be?
Yeah, it's a great question. I don't know.
Everybody knows what the pick is, so you might as well take all 10 minutes.
I guess that's the theory. I don't know, but
maybe nobody brought a pen. They're all in there like, oh, what do you mean you don't have a fucking pen? Are you fucking kidding me? You know, it'd be great if they have to forfeit the pick because they don't have a pen or a marker. That'd be great.
Well, I mean, we've seen it once. I think the Minnesota Vikings a bunch of years back,
yes,
didn't get the pick in time, and they lost their pick.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen
because
stupid or so.
When they went on the clock, they sent somebody out to pick who Minnesota was going to pick.
Yeah,
it
was a big to do.
Yes.
And if that happened, the Jets would be nice enough to continue to pick Zach Wilson instead of going after Trevor Lawrence. You know that, right? Because that's just the way the Jets are.
Oh, boy.
You're right. That's my guy. We're sticking with him.
Exactly. We can't take him. We're no. Fucking stupid bastards, man. Holy shit. Can you imagine that shit, man?
You know what, Jeff? You know what? It would be crazy. That would be the craziest thing ever. The Jaguars missed the pick and the Jets passed Zach Wilson because they're sold on him. Boy, that would be an ugly Friday morning in New York City sports.
Oh God! You know what? Never mind. Black Lives Matter. There'd be GLM would fucking come into existence almost immediately, burn down everything.
Yeah, there's your boy Sanchez giving some thoughts on the draft as we wait for the pick here. The pick is officially in. Let's see if we get it live. I'm hoping that.
You mean it's officially in? They're still fucking going.
No, it says the pick is in. Now I got it up on TV. Yeah, the pick is in right now. Again, this ESPN feed that I got is a little delayed. It's about I don't know now. It's definitely about 30 seconds behind at this point. So we'll see. But the pick is in. We're waiting on the commissioner of the NFL. The Jacksonville War Room is applauding. I don't know what the surprise is. They're applauding like they just figured it out. I don't understand it, guys, but let's.
NHL Network's not showing Jacksonville's War Room.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know. We'll see what I got ESPN up, and ESPN is not showing me what I want to see. But we'll see if we get the picks. But so we're getting in now. We get the Jets. The intrigue doesn't start till 3, guys. So let's hope the Jets pick a little quicker. I think Frank, both you guys have watched a lot of Trevor Lawrence. Is he generational? Is this guy the next elite guy? Frank, is he elite?
I don't know. I don't know if I would call him elite just yet. He's got the potential to do it. He looks like he's got all the tools. Smart kid. He's got the size. I mean, on paper, yeah, he's got it to be. But you know, and I know the game is not played on paper. So
yeah, that's true.
It's got to translate to the field. So we'll see.
The commissioners at the mic. Unfortunately, we're a little behind. I don't know if the ESPN feed's going to pick it up. All right. I don't know why we had to wait 8 minutes for that, but Trevor Lawrence is the number 1 pick in the NFL draft. He's home.
That's official.
That's official. And Trevor Lawrence is definitely Mr. Fudge face. He's got a face that looks like it's been made out of Play-Doh, but he can play quarterback in the NFL. And let's get his highlight package up for everybody to see. So we'll see it. Listen, so Jacksonville should have their quarterback for the next 10 years, you guys, we would think, right? I mean,
yeah, you would think. That would be the plan, I would guess. Now the Jets are on the clock. Let's see what they do.
So, Jeff, your beloved New York football Jets are on the clock. I mean, no surprises coming, we're assuming. As a Jeff fan, are you excited for this pick? Well, what will be your reaction to hearing?
Listen, you pretty much know that that it's going to be Zach Wilson. You just got to hope that the guy is good and that he's he works out for the team. I mean, if not, he falls to the side of the road like Sam Darnold and Geno Smith and Mark Sanchez and the rest of the funky bunch did over the course of the years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know why. Frank Catalano, thank you for that. Yeah, I don't know why they would use all their time. It makes no sense. It's stupid.
Frank, because I would like to see them get a quarterback that works out for them, whoever that may be at this point in time, Frank, because too many times it just hasn't worked. So if Zach Wilson is the guy, the only thing that worries me about Zach Wilson is his build. I think he's a little small. I think he's going to get abused the first couple of years. I just hope that he's could withstand it.
Zach Wilson, 6'2", 214. Now, Trevor Lawrence is 6'6", 213. All these guys are about 6'3". He is a little lighter than Mac Jones at 217. Justin Fields at 227. Trey Lance at 224. So Trevor Lawrence, 6'6", 213 is a little on the slight side, Jeff. I don't hear anybody talking about his build. So I got to be honest with you. I don't love the pick. I don't know if – here's the question I'll ask, guys. Is Zach Wilson really the best of the last 4 quarterbacks?
You got to hope he is at this point in time.
I don't hope, but I'm saying this. On paper, what we've watched, I will tell you,
on paper,
I think Mac Jones is the best of the rest of the bunch, if you ask me.
On paper,
Mac Jones was probably if you had to rate him out, Mac Jones would be my next pick. And then the problem with Fields is I think a lot of people are getting scared. 2 things. One, he's got a little cock in his motion where he doesn't throw the ball smooth. That could be fixed. That could be coached. That's no big deal. The other thing is he has epilepsy, and a lot of teams are afraid of that.
Justin Fields has epilepsy?
Yes.
That's the first I heard of that. I did not know that.
Yeah, I didn't know it either until about 3 days ago. I saw it up.
So one good tackle, one good sack, and his head hits the fucking ground, and that's it.
He could be having seizures.
He could be convulsing all over the place.
Yep.
Oh, that's not
so,
good.
I mean, the doctor has come out, and his father has come out and said, hey, most of his family, it's a family trait thing. And most of his family were, by the age of 23, 25, somewhere in there. Most of the males in his family never had an episode after that. But again, he has it.
Yeah, again, Zach Wilson, I'm going to get his highlights up on it because I think it's a foregone conclusion. He will be the Jets quarterback. The Jets have 4 minutes and 8 seconds left to get the pick on the board. So we'll get the pick into the commissioner. We'll do our best to bring the microphone up and let you hear it when it's done. But guys, the Jets have had a little rough time. Sanchez, Donald, You can say it about any quarterback. You can say this about anybody picking in the top 3 or 4. You really can't miss. But when you miss at quarterback, guys, you set yourself back years. You can miss at number 2, number 3 with a running back. Listen, there's a chance the Giants missed with Saquon Barkley. I know Jeff wants to always say that, and I understand it. But they can recover quicker than if you miss on the quarterback.
Well, you know what, dude? Let me tell you, I still think with Sanchez, all right, that they put him on a leash and they didn't let the kid go. And it doesn't matter. You can call whoever you want. That phone ain't connected to anything other than dead air. But with Sanchez, they never gave him a chance. They were like, you're only going to throw the ball 17 times a game, and that's it. Whatever happens after that happens. And they screwed him. They fucked him. I don't think they purposely fucked him, but they just fucked him by not letting him develop. And then Geno Smith, he was just a wrong pick. And Rex Ryan, he's never worked in the NFL again after Buffalo. So what is that telling you about Rex Ryan? He couldn't develop a quarterback.
Well, listen.
Sam Darnold came in, but you give him a defensive coach, and then you give him Adam Gase, who looked like he was lit out of his skull.
I said this to Tommy once before. Rex Ryan is probably the best defensive coordinator in the NFL, not a head coach. He's not a head coach. He can't handle the offensive side of the ball, like you said.
You don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, he's not going to develop a quarterback. He's a defensive coordinator. It's solid.
I agree.
Yeah,
totally
listen.
agree.
Well, the Jets pick is in. I don't think there's any intrigue coming. We'll see when the commissioner walks to the podium to see what the Jets are thinking. But I can't imagine that it's anything but Zach Wilson at this point. If it's not, it's probably Fields. But I think at this point it's safe to say that there is a Jets jersey in the future of Zach Wilson. And good luck to Zach Wilson and the Jets. I think this is a lot of fun for New York. We got a couple of young quarterbacks. We got relatively new coaches, and I think there's a good future in New York football.
Let's hope.
Yeah, we can only, Jeff. You know what? Since we've been doing the show for 7 years, the Jets have not been a good team. The Giants have not really been a good team. One playoff year in the middle of all of that, but realistically, both. I think the Giants are a little further ahead, but I don't think the Jets are that far off to getting good, and we'll see. There's still a lot of intrigue coming up, guys. What will San Francisco do? How about the Falcons? Will they trade down? How about the Lions and the Panthers? What will they do? And number 9, will the Broncos take a quarterback? Lots of intrigue. Who's coming in? Who's going to drop down? Lots to talk about here on the Hard Rock and Sports Show. As a Jet fan sitting in the chair, I don't know what this whole thing is about.
It's something to do with his basement.
I guess it's supposed to look like it was from last year in his basement, but the commissioner's coming to the podium. Let's bring up the mic and let's see if we can get this on for you guys.
With the second pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Zach Wilson, quarterback, BYU.
Okay, Zach Wilson actually is in attendance. He's grabbing his hat to go on his well-mannered head, as they say. Yeah, Jeff, the guy's at least pretty, Jeff. He does look good.
Did anybody tell him his career is over yet?
Hey, Tommy, you're getting old when you look at this guy and you're like, wow, what's he, 12?
We said that, what was it, 2 years ago, Jeff, with Quentin Williams? Remember? We were watching the draft.
Quentin Williams looked like he had to go to fucking bed before the draft was over. He looked so young. Oh, my God.
But, Zach Wilson's pumped up. He's slapping fives with a bunch of Jet fans. He's hugging Goodell.
Like I said, to me, I feel this is an upgrade to Sam Darnold. Not a big upgrade, but an upgrade. And like I said, and we talked about it, Tommy, it resets the clock on all of them. Now they're on the same.
Yeah, that's it. It's a whole new thing now. This is now a whole new ball game for the New York Jets. The clock starts now. Doesn't mean that they got it right. Doesn't mean they got it wrong. It just means, Jeff, it starts new. Jeff, will you be buying a Zach Wilson jersey?
No, and I'll tell you why. Because whenever I get a fucking jersey from the New York Jets, it guarantees that guy is not on the team next year. I have a Muhammad Wilkerson jersey. He became a crackhead. I got a Chad Pennington jersey. His arm fell off. I bought a Brett Favre jersey. He went to Minnesota and almost fucking won 9 Super Bowls in a row. So I will never, ever, ever buy a Jet jersey.
Okay.
Never again. I will say this much. I'm happy. At least this much I'm happy with. They didn't go and overspend on going to get the kid from the Houston Texans. And they didn't go out and overspend on getting Russell Wilson from the Seahawks.
Would any of those made you happy though, Jeff? Let's say they did. Let's say revisionist history. Deshaun Watson doesn't have the problems that he had, and the Jets pulled that trade off, or they went ahead and got Russell Wilson. Would you have been more excited, or same excited as you are right now?
I would have been the same, simply because I think they would have given up way too much to get him.
Okay. Frank, what do you think?
I could have given up. I would have given up maybe 3 of those picks, but I would have given up one of my own and the 2 Seattle picks. I wouldn't have given up both my picks.
The problem is, and you know this, Tom, everybody overpays for quarterbacks. That's the bottom line. It's like you said, it takes so long, especially now with the new CBA. Me and Matt were talking about it the other day. With the new collective bargaining agreement and how little practice they have, and they're not coming even to the early one. You know, there's not enough repetition for the quarterback to develop quickly enough. So it takes you a couple of years to develop one. And like you said, if you miss on him, you got to start all over. And you like you said, you can miss on a running back, a wide receiver. You can miss any other position in the field and not be set back as far as you will if you miss on the quarterback.
Absolutely. Absolutely, guys. On the clock right now is the San Francisco 49ers. Quarterback, we all seem to think that it will be a quarterback that gets taken here, guys. Anybody think got any sort of out of the box thing? They traded 2 number 1 picks to get here. I can't imagine they did
Kyle
that.
Pitt.
Well, listen, I've seen crazy things, but Jeff, any thoughts? Could Frisco thinking they have a deal worked out with Green Bay and make a pick for something different and not take a quarterback here?
Anything is possible, but I don't see it.
I doubt it because
I think it would have been announced already.
Well, again, we'll see. I think this is just a matter of which one. For a week now, I've heard nothing but Mac Jones, and all day today, everybody was running around with Trey Lance. I think if Trey Lance is the pick, that tells me a lot about what people think about Justin Fields.
I go along with that.
You know what I'm saying, Jeff? I think at this point, and Frank, I'm glad you're hanging with us. Stay as long as you want. You can finish up the night with us. You can bounce in and out.
I'll hang with you till we see what the 3rd pick. That's the intrigue, is the 3rd pick.
Okay.
So let's see what happens here, and then maybe I'll stay for the 4th because they're taking so long. Like you said, they must have some kind of FCC rule that they got to wait till the max.
I don't know. The Frisco's down to the 3 minutes. I mean, again, at this point, I could see now maybe they're waiting, maybe the discussion. Is anything's possible that a trade could happen?
Yeah.
But to me, they're going quarterback. I think if it's Trey Lance, I'll be surprised. It won't, but I'll be surprised. Again, I think that the big thing is if Lance goes before Justin Fields, I think that is an indictment on Justin Fields and what people really think. I think there's a chance he drops.
Yeah.
So I think that this is an interesting one, Jeff. And then you start getting into the real part of the draft when you start bringing in the Cincinnati Bengals and the Falcons and of course Frank's Miami Dolphins, who listen, Frank, Miami's they're a much better team. They filled a lot of holes in a good division. They can go a couple different ways here. They can go running back. They can go any one of the receivers. They can go. They can help a little help on the offensive line if they wanted to. A team that can use some help, but is in a good position. Frank, so I think we lost you.
No, I'm here.
Okay, yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. I think at this point, but I think Miami's going to depend on who's there and who's not.
Yeah,
if
who's
Atlanta,
there, well, like I said, if I can, for me at least, you give me Pitts, Chase, Devontae Smith, Waddle, I'm happy with that. We need that kind of wide out. We need a good. That's going to add to Fuller, and that's going to add to Gesicki in the middle, and then we also got Parker on the other side. That's good. That's a decent core wide receivers.
Hey Jeff, with all this stuff that Miami's done, with all the stuff that New England's done, how much of a difference is it between Buffalo, New England, Miami? I'll leave the Jets out of it for now. How big of a difference right now is the separation between those 3 teams?
I honestly, I'm going to say that I think it's going to be Buffalo, Miami, New England, and then the Jets. I think that the Dolphins have leapfrogged the Patriots. I think that they're a better team. And I don't hear Frank.
Yeah, I think he's talking to somebody off screen.
Oh, okay.
That's right. Yeah, my wife happened by.
Tell your wife we said hello. I'm looking forward to seeing her soon. I know you guys are going to be up there soon.
She's yelling, "Hi, Tommy!" And she's talking about you guys coming down to Florida and everything. And I'm like, "Babe, we're in the middle. He's in the middle of a show."
Well, it's true. The pick is in for San Francisco, guys. I'll give you a chance. Jeff, who's going off the board?
Trey Lance.
Frank, who's coming off the board?
I think they're going to stick with that Mac Jones. I really do. But
I agree. Mac Jones is on my board
because that's what everybody's been saying lately.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of the smoke screen. And Frank Catalano, I agree with you. I think Frankie, whoever's there, I think that Denver set themselves up where it doesn't matter which quarterback is there at 9, they're going to take him and sit them behind.
Yep.
Teddy Bridgewater
and get rid of Locke.
Yeah, I think yes. I think at this point. I think that's the setup. I think it doesn't matter which quarterback is there. They're taking one of those 3 guys. If it's Mac Jones, I think if it's Lance, I think it's either way. I think the only thing that could change that is I think New England could jump to Carolina to grab one of those guys. Could be Fields. Here comes the commission. Let me bring up the volume. Let me see. This whole chair thing is starting to bother me, Jeff. And everybody's wearing masks, except for the commission. I'll give him credit. Here it comes. Here we go.
Here he comes. Here we go. Here's pick number 3.
2021 NFL Draft. The San Francisco 49ers select Trey Lance.
Wow. Trey Lance is the third pick in the NFL Draft. Wow, Jeff, good call. The GOAT, the guru, the pharaoh.
Right now, if they go to Atlanta's war room, everybody's on the phone.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
Included Frankie Catalano's Denver Broncos.
Absolutely. Now, all right, I'm going to start picking on Trey Lance's
attire. Do you think that there's a trade getting ready to happen?
If in Atlanta, I think Atlanta could trade right now. You could see a whole bunch of teams jumping up to grab either one of those 2 quarterbacks that are sitting there right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think at this point, Jeff, you watch for the trade. If it ain't here, I don't think it'll happen to 8 at Carolina, but the Lions could do it. Carolina could do it. Somebody could trade now. I think it's New England's got a ton of picks.
New England's got a ton of compensatory picks from last year. They could definitely do it.
I agree with that. I think if you're going to see a spot, it's going to happen soon. How far up you want to go? I don't believe that Atlanta's going to take a quarterback. I don't believe that Cincinnati obviously is not taking. The Miami Dolphins aren't going to take it, and the Lions aren't. So to me, unless you think somebody else is going to jump in that spot, the spot to look at for
Chicago, New England, Denver,
Pittsburgh.
What I think what you're failing to realize is I think that they're going to look for a king's ransom in this spot.
Oh, absolutely. Of course, Jeff. That's what. But again, if you're New England and you got 10, 12 picks, you just had a
but Tom, are they going to be looking for number 1 picks? First rounders.
Well, yeah, you're
not going to be looking for a couple 3rd rounders because they got extra 3rd rounders.
You're going to flop, 8 for 15. You're going to give them a couple number 2s. You're going to make some moves in there. But to me, if you're going to make a move,
if the Los Angeles Rams,
traded
how many number 1 picks for Matthew Stafford?
3.
3 number 1 picks for Matthew Stafford. You're going to tell me that somebody's going to be able to move up to the 4th spot for a couple number 2s and a swap?
You're going to give up your 1 this year. You're going to give probably your 1 next year.
Correct. And then,
easily.
I would agree with that, but it might be worth it. Again, I think a
1 and 2 2s at the very least, maybe 2 1s.
Now, I got to tell you, if you're Frisco, this is a bold move because I got to tell you, this kid hasn't played. He's 17-0 as a starter. Get it? 30 TDs, only 1 interception. I get it. He's played in obviously an inferior league.
I was just going to say a soft division.
Yeah, he hasn't played in almost 2 years of football, and you just made him the number 3 pick in the draft. I have to tell you,
he may not play for another 2 years. Depends on how long they want to hold on to.
Well, it's like I said, Trey Lance is Christmas future. It's the quarterbacks of the future are going to be like the Trey Lances, like, the Lamar Jacksons, the Patrick Mahomes. They're going to be mobile type. They're almost going back to single wing.
Yeah, well, let me ask you this. I mean, Frank, do you think at this point now, I would have thought maybe there was a chance Garoppolo gets traded. I think with this pick, you're telling me you're going to bury Trey Lance on the bench for a year at least and Garoppolo is going to be the quarterback next year.
Yeah, they just told Garoppolo what this trade was, this pick was, was saying to Garoppolo, relax, you're our quarterback now. He's our quarterback in the future.
Yeah. Jeff, you seen anything different, Jeff?
Not really, no, because I think they got him on a good deal until next year, or he has no guaranteed money after next year. So why not have him? The guy's not a bad quarterback.
No. And they're probably telling Garoppolo, sell yourself this year by how you play.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're telling them. Yeah, I agree with that part. Yeah, I think at this point, I listen. I think this is a bold move. I don't like it. It could anything could work out. I just want I think after the Goff and the Wentz. Listen, guys, Goff and Wentz. Goff and Wentz. Both guys are already traded. Mariota, Jameis Winston. These guys are guaranteed traded. I mean, to me, I'm not telling you that any of these guys are guaranteed. And Atlanta's on the clock, 3 minutes and 40 seconds left. I
think Zach Wilson is a guarantee, Tom. He's a home run.
You think so?
I think they just drafted the best quarterback in New York history.
Oh boy, here we go.
I'm just a thought.
Here we go.
What did they pick? Like 7 number 1 quarterbacks in the first
Something
round?
like that, yeah.
7 quarterbacks in the first round.
And this is the one. So Atlanta.
There's been 76 drafts that the Jets have picked quarterback number 1 79 times.
The only one I'll give you any credit for of those 7 is Joe Namath. And even Joe Namath, I hate to say it, he wasn't a great quarterback.
No, he was horrible. He was absolutely horrible.
Yeah, but Frank, we talked about it before, and I want to give the Jets a little credit. Kenny O'Brien was a better quarterback than people give him credit for. Not terrible, not a great quarterback, but Ken O'Brien had a solid career, and Pennington doesn't get hurt. Pennington was a good quarterback. Yeah. So I think the Jets did okay on 2 quarterbacks. It just didn't work out.
I like Kenny O'Brien. Kenny O'Brien, I think, was more of a product of the weapons he had around him, his receivers he had.
Toon, Wesley Walker, Schuler,
exactly,
McNeil. Yeah, that was a good team around him.
That was a good team around him.
Yes,
I loved Chad Pennington. I thought Chad Pennington gave the Jets just as much of a chance to win as anybody else at his time. He was a good quarterback. It's just he didn't have a strong arm, but he was a smart quarterback, and he made up for lack of arm strength with brains. And it's just guy was weak. He ended up getting hurt.
They're saying the Falcons pick is in now.
All right, the Falcons pick is in, guys. I'm going to say they're going to keep. Obviously, they kept it. No trade has been made, as far as I know. So I'm going to say they're going to take Kyle Pitts and they're going to move on. I don't believe they'll take a quarterback here. If they do, I think it's the first time ever 4 quarterbacks taken immediately at the draft. So I will be surprised and shocked if they do.
I agree. Being that it's their pick and they're picking, they're taking Kyle Pitts. They're not.
Yeah, Jeff, you have any thoughts on where they're going with this pick?
No, I agree. I think that they're going to go with Pitts.
Yeah, I think I think that this will happen. And again, I'm not the biggest Pitts guy. I'm always Frank, and you and me and Matt have gone back and forth on this for a while. He's a tweener. I think I don't think he's as a beast as everybody thinks, but again, could develop into a great player. Please don't tell me about wingspan and catch radius.
I think you're underrating him. He's a beast.
I don't know.
He's a beast.
Yeah, Frank. I don't know. I don't think your Denver team will trade down there, but the pick is in. Let's get the commissioner up on the thing. I like that it's starting to move a little bit here. We're 8:48, and we got pick number 4. Here's the pick.
I think the time goes down after each pick.
No, it's 10 minutes. First round's 10 minutes, Frank.
The Atlanta Falcons select Kyle Pitts.
Yes, no surprise.
No surprise.
Yeah, Kyle Pitts from Florida, tight end / some sort of receiver.
I think they're worried about Julio Jones, like you said.
Yes.
They're talking about trading him. And like last year, he didn't play the whole season. I think they're worried about him, and they figured this is going to be Julio Jones' replacement. If they could dump the money on a sucker that'll take it, they will.
Yeah, Jeff. I mean, this pick tells me, Jeff, that Atlanta thinks they have a chance to make a run this year with Matt Ryan, with this team, and try to do some damage. Now, don't forget, no Drew Brees. No Drew Brees this year. The division's a little more wide open. I think that's what this pick tells me, Jeff. What does this pick tell you?
You have a point there, without a doubt. Tampa Bay is their whole team pretty much came back.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to hope that they take a step backwards due to age, because they're certainly not taking a step backwards due to talent.
Nope.
And the New Orleans, that team is going to be in a little bit of flux. I can't see any quarterback on that team that's going to match up to Breeze, what he did.
No, absolutely not. And
Atlanta may be in a good position.
Yeah, Frankie, Jeff brings up a good point. Let me ask you this. They got two quarterbacks on that team with Jameis Winston and Hill. I think that team's still a team that may be looking for a quarterback. I don't believe they have their quarterback on that roster.
No, they're definitely looking for a quarterback. That dual quarterback's not going to work, but for so long.
Yeah.
It's just not going to work. And like you said, as far as Atlanta, the problem with Atlanta is they have so many weaknesses on defense that you just can't. I can't see them. Maybe sure they'll compete in their division, but I can't see them competing in the playoffs with the weaknesses. They really going to have to deal with the defense either after the draft with trades or some free agencies, like you said, people that get dropped, or the rest of the draft.
Yeah, so far it's kind of going to script. I mean, we know there's going to be a quarterback in Frisco. I'm a little surprised that they went with Trey Lance. That Mac Jones has been the guy there for weeks, and then all of a sudden I heard it today, and I guess was a smokescreen, guys. I guess the Trey Lance. I think it's way too high for him, to be honest with you. But
absolutely,
I think it's a good pick, because he gets to sit behind for a year behind Garoppolo. Garoppolo's not a terrible quarterback.
No, it's a good
more
pick.
Than a serviceable quarterback. I think it's a good pick for them.
It's a good pick, but it's a good pick at 12 or 10.
Yeah, at 3, Jeff.
If Tom, we've discussed this. Frank, if your guy is there,
he's right.
You can't worry about if it's the first round of the pick or the last round of the pick. A last pick in a round.
You're right.
This is how they do it. I understand what you guys are saying. Don't get me wrong, and I agree with you. But if your guy is there, it's not a stretch.
No, and now we start the intrigue, guys. So now the intrigue starts. Cincinnati on the clock. Now, I like the fact that they take Jamar Chase here, because I think that what's his name, Joe Burrow's in their ear. He wants his old receiver. But I think Frank is right. I think there's a really good chance here they're going to go offensive line to keep him upright. So I think it's an interesting. This is the first interesting pick here, Jeff. Where's your head on this one?
I think they're going to go get that receiver, man. What better way to make your number one quarterback feel comfortable by giving him somebody that he's familiar with and has a rapport with? You could get an offensive lineman later on in the draft, but are you going to be able to get a receiver that your guy has? That he clicks with almost instantly. I mean, come on. It's almost a no-brainer to me.
It's a good point, Frank. What do you think?
I know. I like that point, because that's why I've been saying Miami taking Smith at 6. Think about if Miami takes Smith at 6 and somehow gets Harris at 18, they've got the Alabama national championship backfield.
I agree. I just think Miami's better served short of the defense. Now, again, I really don't believe there's any superstar players in this draft on the defensive side of the ball other than the corners. I think
we have good corners.
Correct. So to me, I mean, I like Bolton at linebacker, but is he number one that high? Is he a difference maker? I just, so this is an interesting pick right here, because I think it sets up the Dolphins at 6.
Yep.
We'll do the Dolphins at that point.
And like I said, it definitely will set up the Dolphins at 6. And like the reason why I think Harris at 18, because you won't be there at 36, where you'll get the same guy, edge rusher, at 18.
I agree with that.
At 36.
That's a great point. That's absolutely a great point. Hard Rock and Sports. Jeff, Tom, and Frank Jeffrey here hanging out talking NFL draft. The Bengals are on the clock. 2 minutes and change left on their time. I think this is an interesting pick. Frank, there's been some talk this week that the Dolphins could go Sewell here. I don't see it, but again, who do you have and what do you have him rated? And do you want to give 2 or more weapons, or do you want to give him some more protection? There's the big question.
I don't think they go Sewell here, only for the fact, couple of things. One, he opted out last year, and Flo is big on that. He didn't like that. 2, the reason why I don't think they go offensive line here is because, like we said, you can get an offensive line later. the last 2 years, they have picked 3 or 4 different offensive linemen.
Mhm.
So they kind of feel like they resolved their offensive line. I don't think they need to draft this high to get more. They need more depth, yes, absolutely. But I don't think they have to draft this high to get it.
Cincinnati's pick is in. We're waiting for the commercial break, and Miami's now on the clock. But Jeff, if Miami, if an offensive lineman is not taken here, there could be a spot here where there's no offensive lineman picked in the top 10 of this draft. Because
it is possible.
Yeah, it's starting to fall now.
It is possible, but not for nothing. I think an offensive lineman would be good for Detroit. You got Goff, so you could give him a little bit of help, but they need a wide receiver also.
Yes.
So
their bigger needs are on defense. Their bigger needs are on defense. I think that's the one spot where I could see them going with one of the linebackers. They may take a shot at a Parsons here in that spot. Parsons has a lot of upside. While his off the field stuff's a little crazy, it was a few years ago. So there is a chance that Detroit there could either go defense. If I was going to go defense and I'm them, I would try to trade back and try to go back maybe to 12 or 13 or even 15.
Right.
Go defense there because I think there's still a lot of defensive talent going to be there at that point. Probably not much different than you would get at 7. So if you're going to do it, I think if they make the pick and they stay at 7, it'll probably be a receiver, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And just do what Jeff just said. I think they would look to give Goff some more weapons. So it's interesting. This pick's going to change a lot of
different teams. Yep.
Yeah, I think.
Well, like I said, this is where the intrigue was really 3, 4, 5. This is going to change. This is going to set up how the rest of the draft's going to go with this 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, I agree with that.
There really hasn't been many surprises though yet. And I mean,
no.
Other than the 49ers taking Trey Lance instead of Mac Jones, there really wasn't. I didn't see. Well, we'll see what happens with this pick.
I don't think you're going to see much in the way of surprises here. I don't think teams are going to reach here because there's so much talent in the playmaker abilities, whether it's corner, receiver, quarterback. And again, I'm not big on the quarterback, so when I say talent, people have them projected that way. I think that you're not going to see the reach or the stretch for anybody in the top 10, maybe 12 picks. So we'll see. It's Cincinnati's pick is in. We're just waiting for them to come back.
Yep.
Trey Lance on the screen right now, getting his number 1 jersey from Commissioner Roselle Goodell. Yeah, wow.
You're hating yourself, brother.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. I'm waiting for the pick. I wait for the commissioner. I'll bring the volume up once I see it. And the Dolphins are also on the clock. Here comes the commissioner. Give me a second. Guys, real quick, what's your point? Who's going?
I think they're
going O-line.
Sewell.
The receiver.
The Cincinnati Bengals select Jamar Chase.
Wow, Jamar Chase. LSU.
There it goes, LSU.
Wow. That is the first surprise pick in the draft, gentlemen. Jeff, I got you. On my draft board, I have Sewell going here. I changed it because I had him. I let Frankie and Matt change my mind last week on it. But Jeff, you were locked in sure of this. You think that this was nothing more than give Joe Burrow a familiar face to throw to?
Definitely, without a doubt, man. You got to think. Listen, Burrow will be a second-year player. This guy will be a first-year player. They could be all pros for the next 10 to 12 years together.
Yep.
Yeah. This is a good pick, but they need all offensive line help. But I agree, Jeff. Good pick.
I don't know what other needs this team has, but they could go offensive line with at least the next pick, if not the next 2 picks.
Listen, there is no shortage of quality offensive linemen in this draft. I'm looking for my notes on the offensive line. You got Sewell, Slater, Elijah Vera Tucker. I like him. You can get down to Christian Darrisaw. You can get down to even Landon Dickerson, the center from Alabama. This draft is kind of deep. So I agree with that, Frank and Jeff. I think that you could probably help yourself in round 2 or 3 of this draft with an offensive line. And they obviously took the best player they thought. And I think a big part of this, I believe, and I said this last week on the preview show, that I thought these guys could take him here to give Joe Burrow a little familiar face.
Where did Frankie go?
I don't know. Frank's gone. I maybe went to go watch his pick. His
I
Dolphins
don't know about that. I think he went a little bit further away than that.
Can
So,
you hear me,
Jeff-
guys?
Oh, there he is.
there he is. So, Frank, your team's on the clock.
Yeah.
What?
But see what I'm saying about the time? They only have 4 minutes left. That was not 10 minutes. I think they go down a minute.
No. What's happening as soon as they make they're not making the pick right away. So Cincinnati made their pick like 7 minutes ago, and they were right on the thing. So no, it's 10 minutes each team. First round, second round, I think is like 7 or 5.
So as soon as the pick's in, the Dolphins are on the clock. We don't see that.
Correct.
See, they just reset the time.
They just put it right on. I got it on the screen here. So the Dolphins are on the clock and up behind Detroit. So Frank, it's your team on the clock. Where are you going now that Chase is gone?
I think the Dolphins are going to copy exactly what Cincinnati did and get Tua Smith.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, Jeff. I mean,
I think it makes a lot of sense. That's what I would do. You're trying to help this kid and everything, get him somebody familiar, get him a receiver that he knows.
Yeah.
Why not?
Dolphins pick is in officially, and now the Detroit Lions are on the clock.
Correct.
Frankie, I know what you think is going to happen. What do you want to happen? If you had a pick to pick yourself, with all the talent around you, is it Smith you take right now?
It's either Smith or Waddle. I'll take either one of those guys right now.
Yeah, I would agree. I think I had them taking Chase, so I will stay with one of the linemen, with one of the receivers here. Jeff, you're going with obviously Smith or Waddle or Smith.
Yeah, either or. I think Waddle.
Yeah, you know what? I don't disagree with that. I think Waddle might be in play right here. I think he's, had he played last year, I think the opt-out thing, if whether you believe in the opt-outs, I think because he was the better player 2 years ago, but opting out of it. But I watched Smith in the championship game, and he just looked like a man playing with children. So this is going to be an interesting pick. I mean, they could go offensive line, they could go defense. But no, I believe you'll see the second receiver come off the board. This is not good for my Giants because I wanted them to get a receiver, and another one goes here, and now also we're starting to get we're starting to tighten up on the receivers.
Yeah, but there's some other, like you said, after these guys, the next guys they're a little step down, but they're not.
Oh no, you
can
go Rashawn Bateman at that point. There's some guys out there that can help you on this draft. And again, the Giants
you can go grab more.
Yeah, the Giants are not offensive or receiver needy. Again, I'll be happy if the Giants got Sewell or Slater or one of those. I don't think they take Sewell because they got Andrew Thomas.
Yeah, I was going to say Slater. If I was the Giants, I'd go Slater.
Yeah, they can go because he can play inside. So, but again,
I'm telling you, the Giants are going to get Parsons. He's going to go out celebrating, and he's going to kill somebody due to his checkered past. And that pick is gone.
Hold on. Jeff, Gettleman's on the phone. What? Gettleman said, go fuck yourself. Thanks, Dave. I'll get back to you. Call me back with the pick. Dave's calling back.
Wait, you know what? Wait, hold on. I actually have, because of the iPhone, I have a FaceTime video with Dave Gettleman.
You do?
Yeah, hold on, Dave. I'm going to put you on live. Let's get this live.
Hey, it's me, Dave Gettleman. Almost time to fuck up the draft.
And Dave says he's going to fuck up the draft. How about that?
Yeah. Good luck with
that's probably the most accurate statement he made.
Yeah. Hard Rocket Sports. We're here. We're pick number 6 in the draft. Miami's on the clock. I believe their pick is not in yet. We're all guessing receiver here. Makes the most sense.
They're trading out.
No, they did too much trading as it is. I think they've acquired enough picks. No, I think they'll take the pick. I think the surprise would be
that's what I said. Are they requiring players or are they just requiring picks?
Yeah, now it gets interesting because now you go the Lions are. I think the Lions are going to try to go defense. They may go corner. They could go linebacker. The pick is in.
Not for nothing. I'm sorry. The pick is in.
Yeah, the pick is in.
Go ahead. Let's talk that pick. We'll get on.
I hate to say it. I think the Lions are going to grab whatever the Dolphins don't get. They're going to take the other, Smith or Waddle.
Here it comes.
With the 6th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Jalen Waddle, Wide receiver, Alabama.
Jalen Waddle is now.
Jalen Waddle.
Miami Dolphins, although he doesn't look very happy in the green room there.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't. Well, he gets to play.
He doesn't know. They didn't tell him.
Oh, maybe he's playing. He's going to be playing with.
He's going to play. He's going to play that he's prime time.
Yeah, look at the outfit he's wearing. I got to tell you, it's crazy. Some of his outfits are just crazy.
I saw earlier that the Dolphins, the Lions could go quarterback. Maybe Justin Fields in this spot.
They might. Why not?
Listen, nothing would surprise me from this point on. One of the receivers is left. One of the big name receivers. The corners are still there, and all the offensive linemen are there. And you still have three.
Hey, Tom, this is where I'm going to have to say goodnight. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, go ahead, Frankie. Thank you for jumping in with us for this point.
No problem. Maybe I'll try and get back on at 18.
That's fine. That's up. I don't know if we'll be there at that point, but try to jump in. If not, I'll talk to you off the air tomorrow.
You got it, brother. Take care, guys. Jeff, take care, bro.
Later, Frankie. Be good, man.
Frank Jeffrey, loving the fact he came in right there tonight. So it's a little bit of intrigue. Jeff now coming up with the Lions on the clock. The first team we can actually say we don't know what they're going to do.
No, we don't know what they're going to do. Also, the offensive lineman still is. What's the matter?
I can't. Oh, there's a stream. Okay, I lost the stream for a second.
I was going to say nobody's taking the offensive lineman from Oregon yet.
No. I mean,
I'm kind of surprised.
Slade is still there. You got the two corners are still there. I mean, there's. Go ahead.
Totally silly question, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
Sure.
With the picks that the Dolphins and the Bengals made, taking their quarterback's former teammate from college.
Yep.
Do you think that that's going to be a possibility of a new trend in the NFL?
It's a great point, Jeff. You know what? What happens, I think, is you want to give the quarterbacks familiarity with the receivers, and I guess if it's within a couple of years, these guys know each other. They've played together. They've been in pressure situations. It's a great point by you on that one. That's why you're the GOAT. That's why you're the guru. I think, it could be a trend, and you saw 2 picks in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. It makes total sense. And the Detroit Lions pick is in. That puts the Carolina Panthers on the clock. As we sit here watching the NFL draft, Jeff and I, we're a little surprised. But so the question right now is, what does the continuation of picks be? Receivers get picked here? Do the Lions go defense? It's going to be an interesting pick.
I don't even know which way to go. I mean, because like I said, I just saw earlier today that they may go Fields, but I think that with Goff, I mean, come on, he's a young quarterback in his own right. Why not even give this guy a chance?
Yeah, listen, again, not too far off on your thought process, Jeff. They could easily go receiver. They could go offensive line here. I have on their needs wide receiver, linebacker, safety, defensive back, and quarterback. So yeah, there's a lot of ways they could go here. I guess there is no trade here, so we'll say that they're going to pick. I'm going to say that I think they're going to be the first team to go odd, and they're going to go defense here. I believe that they have such needs on the defensive side of the ball that's where they're going to go. One of the corners.
They have a lot of needs. They have a lot of needs, that team. But they just drafted a cornerback last year, and he was injured. So I don't know if they go with another corner.
Yeah, very possible. Yeah, they did draft the kid very high last year. Oduka. Oduka. Yep. So there's I doubt it. Here's the thing. And now if Devontae Smith gets past this point here, I don't see Carolina taking a quarterback. I don't see the Cowboys taking a quarterback. That sets up for the Giants to maybe possibly take Devontae Smith. If Smith were to go here, now the Giants are down to offensive line and corner. I think they're going to go corner at that point. To be honest with you, I think they take one of the top 2 corners in the draft. I don't think you'll take a guard at that point in the draft, but we'll see. It's an interesting situation right here. We're still waiting on.
Do these picks ruin the Giants' train of thought, you think?
Say again?
Do these picks so far ruin the Giants' train of thought?
Yes, I think the Giants thought there would be 2 of the receivers left on the board, getting closer to them. I think they right now, yes. Guys, they have Goff. Enough said. Yeah, Matt, I got you, but they have Goff, so that says that they ain't got a good quarterback right now. So, do I think they take a quarterback? No, I don't believe they'll take a quarterback here. I think they're going defense. I would imagine. Did you see, by the way, that Tim Tebow worked out for the Jaguars as a tight end?
Tight end.
I know,
He waited 10 years too late. He the guy don't listen. He could have still been playing in the NFL as a tight end.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. It's funny, but they did go play a little baseball for a while and didn't
do very good there either, I guess.
No, not too good. But the Detroit pick is in. We're waiting on they're clapping and all that stuff in the Detroit Raw Room. I don't know why they haven't made their pick yet. I guess the guy they wanted is still there. Which judging by the War Room, I got a feeling they're gonna go Devontae Smith. I think that they're just so pumped up right now. I don't think you get pumped up for a defensive player or an offensive player at that spot. So yeah,
unless they got the guy that they really wanted. If they're going,
I think they're going Devontae Smith right here. I'm going to change my thoughts process based on how they're jumping up and down. I think they wanted Smith and they got him, and we'll see. We're seconds away from that pick. That'll put Carolina on the clock right now. Carolina, I thought was the first place we really might see a trade. So we'll keep an eye open for that. I think you could have some teams like Washington or New England, maybe somebody jumping all the way up to try to get to one of the quarterbacks. Mac Jones available, but here's the commissioner of the NFL. Wow! What a surprise right there. The Detroit Lions take Penei Sewell, offensive lineman from
and
Oregon.
They're going mental over that.
Yeah, they were high fiving like Tom Brady was redrafted.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I understand the guy's good. Don't get me wrong. But I mean, that's kind of I'm not going to say a stretch.
I think it's a stretch.
At all.
I think it's a stretch.
He's a left tackle.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
He's supposed to be the best left tackle in the draft.
Yep.
So if they got him, you can't. This was somebody that maybe they projected to go much sooner than he did. Even though they were only the 7th, 8th pick, whatever they got.
No, they would. Sewell was projected to go as high as number 4, probably number 5, and drop to number 7 at this point, which is not bad at all. Don't take it wrong.
No, not bad at all. But
yeah. So we're in commercial break. On the clock right now is the Carolina Panthers. Could the Panthers go receiver here? I got needs: quarterback, receiver, tight end, tackle, center, guard. So there's a lot of ways they could go here. They could give Sam Darnold a weapon. Jeff, any chance Carolina right here takes a quarterback of the future? I mean, Mac Jones, Justin Fields.
With Sam Darnold, his 5th year option not getting picked up, anything is possible.
Yeah.
And I was kind of shocked with them giving so much up. You figured that they would have tried to make this guy the quarterback of the future, and without picking up his 5th year, it makes you wonder, what's going on there.
Yeah, so, to me, if you like a quarterback in this draft, you'd almost have to think they'll take one and put him on the bench or maybe make a little quarterback.
Yeah, but you know what? If let's just say that you're Sam Darnold.
Yep.
And you're like, you know what? All right, I got Chuck down in New York. Now I'm down in Carolina. Carolina's not picking up my option. Now they draft another quarterback.
Yeah.
What kind of help you think you're going to get out of him now?
Again, this is an intriguing pick. I'm going to tell you here, I think there's a better than 50-50 chance. I think there's a 75% chance Carolina is going to take a quarterback right here. I think they're down to minute 52. I think they're trying to work out a trade. Anything's possible right here. If you're Carolina and you could trade down, I think you do it here and grab some more picks. It's minute 40 on the clock. This is very intriguing right now for me, Jeff.
Yeah, we're going to see it less than 2 minutes.
Yeah. Let's see who's on. Okay. So I got Frankie texted me. He was just watching it with us. So yeah, we're in commercial break right now. Listen, here's the intriguing part for me. If Carolina goes quarterback or anything but receiver here, the Giants at that point will probably have, because figuring Denver's going to take a quarterback. The Cowboys are probably going to go defense at this point and take a corner. The Giants are going to have the choices of one of the corners, one of the receivers, which is Smith at this point, and at least one or two of the offensive linemen. So the Giants are pretty good setup right now for the 12th pick. So, Jeff, I'd say at this point we got 3-4 picks left before the Giants. 1, 2, 3, 4. I know you got an early start tomorrow. What do they say?
I'm off tomorrow, man.
Oh, you're off.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we'll stay as long as you feel good to stay.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, man.
Okay, so we'll hang a little bit. Maybe we'll hang it to 10. We'll see how interesting it is right now. But so we're waiting on the Carolina Panthers pick. They're on the clock, and we're waiting for them to. The pick is now officially in, and the Denver Broncos, Frank Catalano, Denver Broncos are on the clock. I think it's a no-brainer. They're taking a quarterback. Question is it Justin Fields or Mac Jones? Either one of those guys still there? Is Carolina going to take a quarterback here? Matt says we're out of our minds, but I don't think it's that unrealistic. I don't think it's unrealistic to think they may take a quarterback. Jeff, you're right. Sam Darnold not getting his 50-year option picked up. No more Teddy Bridgewater. There's a chance they take a quarterback here.
It's possible.
Yeah,
very possible.
We're about to find out because I don't believe there's a trade. But we'll see where they take us on this one. Thanks, guys, for staying with us. We got a bunch of guys who are actually listening to us and watching us watch the draft, and we're glad you guys are hanging in there with us. And I think who's the next quarterback off the board, Jeff, right now? Okay, so let's say it's not Carolina.
Mac Jones. I'm going to say Mac Jones.
Mac Jones going to Denver.
Whoever it is that that I don't know.
Yeah.
Frankie Catalano said a little earlier that Denver looks like the front runners to get Aaron Rodgers, which I don't know. I mean, Teddy Bridgewater got to be banging his head against the wall if that's the case.
Oh yeah. No, imagine if you're Teddy Bridgewater and you got traded to Denver. You think you got the spot, and all of a sudden here comes Aaron Rodgers.
Joe Flynn's asking the Giants pick. I would say that it would be ass, Joe. The Giants pick ass. That's got it right here.
Joe, what did you think of?
Wait. Joe Flynn, Trey Lance. We're going to see what happens with that pick, Joe.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. You missed it. The 49ers grabbed him.
Joe,
you're a little behind the times there, bro.
Hey, Joe, what did you think of your Detroit Lions pick, Penny Sewell? Are you happy with that pick? That was a good pick. The guy's a solid, probably the best tackle in the draft, but I thought that was a strange pick for me at that point. So we'll see what Joe thinks.
Listen, you know what? That pick, that's going to help Goff.
Sure.
And to get him a young tackle.
Absolutely. Listen, you got a cornerstone left tackle. Again, another guy who didn't play last year. There's some issues there. I think the Giants are set up right now. I'm no more Lions. You're no longer a Lion fan? Stanford fan. Okay.
He means Stafford.
I'm guessing Stafford is right. Yeah. So, okay, here's the selection is in, Jeff. Here it comes.
With the 8th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select J.C. Horn.
Okay, wow. Okay, J.C. Horn, probably the best corner in the draft, has been selected for South Carolina. I don't have that on my board as something that's a big need, but they must have him as the best player in their highest player drafted at that point. So good job by them. It's a solid pick. A guy who can really, really run. I mean, if you're looking for a guy who's a good athlete and can run, J.C. Horn's your guy. So now Joe Flynn's a Ram. He's rooting for Stafford. He's a Ram fan now. Jeff,
I'll be right back.
Good. So, guys, it's interesting setup right now. We got the Denver Broncos on the clock. I would tell you they have their choice. Frank Catalano, who do you want? You want Fields? You want Mac Jones at this point? Frank, come on. Tell me where you're going. I think they're going to trade Chubb and Judy picks. Rooting for Sam Darnold as well. Okay, you can root for Sam Darnold. I am too. A surprise pick but a good pick by the Carolina Panthers, showing up their defense. And this guy is probably the best corner out there. Some guys who got some good upside. Patrick Surtain, who I expect to go to the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys will take Surtain at this point. I don't know if my man Matt Salitri's out there, but Matt, what are you looking at? Frank, you want an inside linebacker? Is that what you said? I recommend Bolton, but I don't think there's high in the draft, Frankie. So you really look at maybe Randy Gradishaw still around. We can get Randy Gradishaw for you guys. But J.C. Horn is now a Carolina Panther. So not a bad shot right there for them. But I never thought he would go on that point. I'm a little surprised. So we'll see. Let's see. No, hold on, I'm just answering something. We'll see how that works out. But the Giants are still set up right here, guys. If you haven't paid attention, the Giants could go receiver. They can go corner. Although if Surtain goes, I think it's automatically going to be Devontae Smith. I'll be extremely happy with that pick. I don't think there's a bad shot in the deal here. Yes, we all love Randy Gradishaw. I want a linebacker from the days, D.D. Lewis, Gradishaw, Harry Carson. There was a plethora of great linebackers back in those late 70s, early 80s football teams. So many great ones. But Denver's going to take a quarterback here, Matt. I think to me, it's a lock, and no pun intended with Drew Lock. But I think it's a lock there taking the quarterback. The question is going to be which one. I think, right now, I think Mac Jones, Jeff, could fall all the way to the Patriots.
It's possible, man. I hope the Patriots, I hope they don't get anybody, man.
Well, right now, I mean, unless somebody trades up in front of them, I got to tell you, if the Broncos don't take Mac Jones, the Cowboys aren't, the Giants aren't, the Eagles aren't. I know you think they may be, but the Chargers and Vikings don't. I think they
already said the Eagles already they didn't stand behind Hurts as their starter. So anything is possible.
Oh, no. I don't – if it happens, I'll be shocked, but it's not, holy cow, I can't believe I never saw that coming. I never believed in Hurts from the beginning. I thought Hurts was damaged goods and a guy who I just was not ever impressed with in the college game. But it would surprise me if the Eagles drafted another quarterback after letting or trading Wentz and sticking by a second round pick who maybe kind of underperformed a little last year. But here's the interesting pick. We're waiting on the clock is on for the Denver Broncos. Cowboys are warming up in the bullpen, and so are the New York Football Giants. So we get to the point where now, let's see, but the Cowboys got 10 defense. I'm just answering. So I got some people texting me on the side. So we'll see how that plays out. But guys, we got a lot still to do here. We're going to take it close to 10 o'clock. We'll see how we feel. And Jeff and I are sticking around, and we're having some fun. The draft is, Jeff, I don't think it's been too far off, but the couple picks in a row now kind of threw off the balance of power here. With the Sewell going at 7.
A little bit. I didn't see that kid going down that far into the Lions.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised there hasn't been a trade as of yet. But I think that also goes to show you what people are thinking of these two quarterbacks that are left.
I agree. Again, still to me, the biggest surprise has been the I think Denver's holding on to the last minute here to see if they can make a trade. So we'll see. But there are 2 minutes and 9 seconds left on the clock for Denver. But I think Trey Lance is so far the biggest surprise for me of the draft.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I think Trey Lance going at 3 instead of Mac Jones or Justin Fields. Now, who's the next quarterback taken? Who does John Elway and the Denver Broncos like? I think I would pick right now, Jeff. I'm going to go on the record saying Justin Fields is the next quarterback off right here for the Denver Broncos.
Who knows, dude? Because there's, I'm looking at the draft order now, and like you said, I mean, Minnesota could take a quarterback, Patriots could take a quarterback, Washington could take one.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Do the Raiders take one? The Bears? Do the Colts? Who did the Colts get again?
Wentz. They just got Wentz.
Yeah. So they're not going to take one. The Jets ain't going to take one. Do the Pittsburgh Steelers take one?
Listen, that's what my point. So the Steelers, I think, were going running back here because I don't think they thought they could get one of those guys. They may try taking one of those guys in the second round, later in the draft, like Ellinger or one of those guys. But if Mac Jones or Justin Fields were to fall that far, I could see the Steelers taking a shot at it. Why not? I don't think they.
But you know what? I think I read on ESPN earlier tonight that they're getting ready to sign that kid Mason Rudolph to an extension.
Yes, I saw that too. Yeah, you're right.
So that may take the possibility of a quarterback away for them.
Yeah, I think it would. A pick is in for Denver now. We're waiting on on the clock right now. The Dallas Cowgirls are now on the clock. The third best team, maybe the third best team in the NFC East behind the Giants and somebody else who really cares. So the Cowboys, So I'm going to go on the limb. I'm going to say Justin Fields comes off the board here. I think the Cowboys are going to go corner. I think they're going to go Patrick Surtain. And then the Giants will be up, and we'll see. I think the Giants will go Devontae Smith. That's my prediction. Now, anything could change along the way, Jeff. I got Kettleman's ringing the phone any second now. I can tell you who's going to get picked.
I don't know. Well, let's concentrate on Denver first, man.
Yeah, the pick is in. We're waiting for the commissioner to get up to the podium and give us the pick. I see some movement back there, but nothing to do with the commissioner. So
maybe he had to run to the fucking potty.
Yeah. Is it a guarantee that there's a quarterback taken here, Jeff?
No, definitely not.
Yeah, I think it is. I really do believe that they made that trade for Bridgewater as a mentor to one of these guys, and I firmly believe that it'll be a quarterback taken here. Never shot.
They got Drew Lock there too. I don't see that. But
here comes the commissioner is now making his way to the podium, Jeff. We'll bring up the volume. And I got to tell you, these people that they got sitting in the chair just look like death warmed over. But hold on. Here it is.
With the 9th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Denver Broncos select Pat Surtain Jr.
Wow, that's a surprise. Patrick Surtain. So the Denver Broncos are going to go with Drew Lock, unless they think they're going to make a trade. They're going Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater. Patrick Surtain, the second best corner in the draft, has gone now to the Denver Broncos. This has been a surprise for me. I don't know how you do Broncos. Jeff.
It's a smart move with Patrick Mahomes in your division. You got to do something to help yourself.
Yeah.
So I could see that.
Yeah.
And don't forget, maybe they make a move, a trade later on for Aaron Rodgers, or maybe it doesn't happen for Aaron Rodgers going to Denver.
Well, there's a lot of craziness now. Here you got the Cowboys coming up. At this point, I mean, they could go a lot of places. They could still stay defense. Although I'm not high on the defensive guys at this point in the draft. I don't know if they go offensive line. Maybe they'd go with Rashawn Slater. Do they go with? Do they take another receiver and take Devontae Smith here and keep away from the Giants? I mean,
Devontae Smith is the next best player.
Yes, absolutely. I would say right now Devontae Smith is the guy who's fallen. And Jeff, now certain that there will be no more than 3 quarterbacks taken in the first round of the NFL draft. We went from maybe possibly 5 guys going in the first 10 picks to now getting only 3 and the first 3 picks.
In the first 10 picks, yeah, but I think that by the time it's all said and done, I think all those guys.
Yeah, I agree. I think I would be shocked if. But like I said, I think now the door opens. These guys could fall, and now I think nobody's falling past New England. I think New England's taking the quarterback here. I think they have no choice. And then, okay, could the Washington football team, better known as the Redskins, could the Bears at 20? Steelers at 24. There's a few teams. Seattle, New Orleans at 28. There's some teams coming up here that could use quarterbacks. We'll just see.
Somebody's unhappy.
Well, Matt has been saying for weeks that he thought Surtain was going to be the guy. Surtain. I think he could have easily been happy with J.C. Horn. I did not see this coming. I did not see Patrick Surtain going. But Jeff, you made a great point. With guys like Patrick Mahomes in the division, getting a guy who can stand up there and play corner and shut down his receivers is a pretty smart move.
Yeah, you have to. You got to take it away. I mean, you might not be able to beat them. You need to take away some of their game, without a doubt.
Yeah, it's Wow, they found that's right. They do actually put the lettering on the jerseys that they hold up right on the spot. That's amazing. Right there, they have the press machine and they do it. So now, yeah, I could see you. So Matt, what do you want now? So Surtain's off the board. Where are you going? You got to think if you're maybe they're going to go defense. Still stay on defense. You can't go Caleb Farley. There's no way in the world. So, but let's see. Giants are going to take Smith.
Let me ask you something. Do the Cowboys continue their long-standing tradition of drafting a thug and maybe take Parsons to?
Jeff, that's a great point. It is possible. Yeah, they did it with Randy Gregory. They did it with they went and got Greg Hardy. So yeah, there's a real good chance that they could go Micah Parsons here. And Parsons is a lot of ability. It's just there's a lot of off the field stuff. So yeah, I could see Jerry Jones and please, dear God in heaven, let Jerry Jones live 20 more years and be the general manager for this team. Hold on. Gettleman's calling. He wants to talk to you. Hold on. Yeah, Dave. So Dave said he's hoping that the Cowboys draft Joe Namath, not realizing he's out. Jerry Jones is kind of lost. Who else? Oh, yeah, and the Giants are going to win the Super Bowl this year. Thanks, Dave. Yeah.
I think you live near like a fucking garbage dump or anything?
No, I don't live near a garbage dump.
Was there any lead paint
What
on
is
the
the
walls?
trade? Hold on, there's a trade being made here. Hold on, Jeff. We're in our first trade. Now I'm seeing the Philadelphia Eagles. Could the Cowboys and the Eagles have made a trade? And if that's the case, if the Eagles moved up, they moved up to grab Devontae Smith. Let's see. Did the Eagles and the Cowboys just make a trade? That is interesting. Yeah, it certainly looks like the Cowboys and the Eagles. Jeff, two division rivals making a trade.
Yeah,
the Eagles are now on the clock. That is wow. So I'm telling you right now, I'm going to believe that the Eagles
they're going quarterback.
No, wow.
Going quarterback.
Smith's to the Eagles, guaranteed.
Come on, man. Come on. They're not big on Hurts, bro.
But why would you have to move up? The Cowboys and the Giants are not taking quarterbacks. You could have had them without making the trade. So there's no way in the world they're going quarterback here.
You're talking about a team that moved up two places, and just a couple years ago, the Chicago Bears gave up Watt to move up one fucking spot.
No, I got it, but it would make so the Eagles get the 10th overall pick. Cowboys move back to the 12th overall pick and the third round pick, number 84. Boy, this screws the Giants if you're the Cowboys, man. The Giants were salivating over Devontae Smith, and now Smith's going to be gone. The Eagles will be taking Devontae Smith. There's no doubt in my mind. If they take a quarterback here, Jeff, I'm going to have the biggest laugh you ever saw in your entire life.
Why wouldn't they? Dude, Jalen Hurts. Say that name to yourself.
I got it, but you could have got him at 12 without it. Nobody was taking a quarterback here.
No, don't they have two picks, Philly?
No, just one.
They just got the one?
Yeah.
Well, there's got to be, you're going to move up for Smith?
He's the best receiver left in the draft. I think they need weapons. They need to make. I think this is a great. I am shocked the Cowboys did this to help the division rival. I'm shocked that for nothing they just flopped the pick and got a third rounder. I think.
What is the sense of the Eagles taking a fucking wide receiver who's going to throw him the ball?
I don't know, but I think Devontae Smith's going to be the guy who doesn't get thrown to. I think. Now the Giants will be warming up in the bullpen, and this throws things off for the Giants. Both corners are gone.
Do the Giants trade down?
It's possible I think at this point, if there was a partner, I would seriously consider it. I think the Giants could go defense now. You could see Parsons come off the board here. You could see. I think they're going to go offensive lineman. I think they're going to go Slater or Tucker. To be honest, I don't know. But the Eagles are on the clock. 43 seconds left. I don't know why they're waiting so long. If you made the trade, you kind of know what you want. So we'll see. Hard Rock and Sports, Jeff and Tom. We're a little surprised. I never saw this coming, to be honest with you. I don't know if anybody else did. But this is going to be an interesting pick. But I think it's going to be Devontae Smith. I don't know any other reason why they would have to move up. unless they wanted one of the offensive linemen, unless they thought somebody else was going to jump in there, another defensive player. I don't see it.
You ready for this?
Go ahead.
No Packers quarterback has ever played 17 seasons with the team. Aaron Rodgers has played 16 seasons. Brett Favre has played 16 seasons. Bart Starr played 16 seasons.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow, that's crazy. Matt's got his head stuck in the wall. Yeah, Matt, what's your team thinking about? First, they're helping they're helping the team in their division, the Eagles, nonetheless. The pick is in. I think it's Devontae Smith. Why would the Cowboys make this move? They got basically nothing in return, a third-round pick, and they flipped from 10 to 12. I don't understand this move by the Cowboys. Matt, you're going to have to come on next week and explain it because I have no idea why this was done, Jeff. This is a dumb move on the Cowboys' part, a great move by the Eagles if they jumped up and got Smith. Otherwise, I don't know why they would have to move up. You kind of have to figure
out. I'm going with quarterback, dude.
No chance in the world. Jeff, not a chance in the world that they're going to take a quarterback here. You could have had to, unless, I'll preface that. Unless they had a thought that somebody else, like the Patriots or the Redskins or somebody wanted to jump into that spot to grab a quarterback. That's the only thing that I could possibly think of. But if they did, they didn't have to pay much to get there. So that's why I don't think it is. The commissioner's coming to the podium, and it's going to be Devontae Smith, wide receiver, Alabama. So he's stopping to make his kind of conversation with the person in the chair, which the chair thing's already kind of played itself out. This is crazy. This is crazy talk. I'm just going through. Okay, so here it comes. Here's the pick.
The Dallas Cowboys have traded the 10th pick to the Philadelphia Eagles. With the 10th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select Devontae Smith.
Devontae Smith is a Philadelphia Eagle. You saw it coming. There was no reason to make that trade without it. The Eagle fans are ecstatic, which they should be. I mean, they still have no quarterback, but this is this is perplexing. No, Matt, this is a dumb move. Listen, you got nothing. You got a third-round pick. Please don't try to spin this. This is a dumb move by the Cowboys to get a third-round pick. They would have been better off taking Devontae Smith themselves, or getting a player. I'm sorry, you did nothing but help the Eagles get better. You did not make the Cowboys better here. I'm sorry. You can spin this any way you want. This is a dumb move by Jerry Jones and the Cowboys. They gave probably the best receiver in the draft to the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, but Tom, the Eagles don't have anybody to throw the ball to.
I got it, but
so it doesn't matter. They could have fucking Jerry Rice. They could have just drafted. But if he can't, somebody can throw him the ball. What's the difference?
Yeah, it's hold on. You should send Jerry Jones flowers. All right, so Hard Rocket Sports, the first controversial move of the night. The Cowboys trade down 2 spots with their rival, the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Eagles step up and take Devontae Smith, who I think was going to the New York Football Giants 2 seconds from now. But now the question is, the Giants, what do they do? Now do the Giants trade down, which is a strong possibility here. I think this is a place where the Giants they could go offensive line. They could make a stretch and go Micah Parsons or Christian Barmore. Boy, I got to tell you, the Cowboys, Matt, you cannot spin this. This was a terrible trade by the Cowboys. They got a third rounder out of this to move back 2 spots. It makes no sense. It makes absolutely zero sense at all for me.
You know what I think? I think you're a bitter man, Tom. I think you're a bitter man. I think that phone, that hotline that you think you have to Gettleman,
I got a hotline.
Maybe to the fucking pizzeria down the street. Okay, they're giving you bad information, and you're taking it hook, line, and sinker.
I disagree, but that's okay.
Yeah. You wanted Devontae Smith. All the guys you wanted for the Giants are off the board.
No, again, I told
You're
you.
gonna get that fucking Mika Parsons, just like I said, and then I'm gonna get the title of the greatest of all time.
No, I think right now, if I'm reading it right, I think the Giants are going to go off the line here, and they're going to go Slater. I think that's pretty much where it's headed at this point. I think that's the difference here for the Giants. Again, a good player. Did the Giants need another wide receiver? No. Would have been great to have Devontae Smith. Absolutely. I will tell you, I'm definitely disappointed the Giants didn't get him. I think the Eagles made a great trade up. And, of course, Jerry Jones, the worst general manager in football. Jerry Jones couldn't manage a McDonald's. A McDonald's in the desert that nobody had. The next food stop was 600 miles away. Jerry Jones couldn't manage that properly. So, to all the Cowboy fans out there, I hope you guys lose every game for the next 20 years. That's how bad this guy is. And I fucking hate
you will sound like a bitter man.
It's dumb. It just makes that trade made no sense whatsoever. But again, I never expected Devontae Smith to be there anyway for the Giants. It doesn't kill me. I said from the beginning, I'll take anything as long as the Giants don't reach. I don't want Parsons, but we'll take whatever's there. I think the Giants at this point, you're looking at probably an offensive lineman here, or possibly a trade down. The Giant pick, I believe, is in because the Giants, I think, made a trade here. I think the Giants just made a trade with the Chicago Bears. The Bears are on the clock. The Giants have traded down. The Giants have now traded down to number 20, which I love. Good job by Dave Gettleman. The Giants received the 20th pick, a fifth-round pick. Looks like a 2022 number 1 pick. Good job by Gettleman, Jeff.
Wow, a 2000.
I did see I want to see it again. I want to see it again. I thought I saw 2022 number 1, but I'm not sure about it. But it looks like the New York Giants have traded down to the 20th spot with the Chicago Bears. I think this is a great move by Gettleman, getting some picks. And I think at this point, I think we're Frank Jeffries wants to jump back. Let's get Frank back here. Frank, this has to be the shock of all shocks.
This is craziness.
Frank, I don't know if you heard me. I went on a little bit of a rant. Jeff thinks I'm a bitter man, but Jerry Jones has to be the worst general manager in the history of football.
And you know what? I like how they tried to fuck the Giants in the interim because they knew the Giants really wanted Devontae Smith.
Sure.
And he was falling to them because Cowboys weren't going to pick him.
Yeah, I mean, Denver takes Patrick Surtain was a shock.
Yep.
Okay. Cowboys trade back 2 spots, get a 3rd-round pick so that the Eagles could move up the trade to move up to get Devontae Smith. Jerry Jones, I don't want him to die. I want him to live for the next 50 years and be the general manager of the Cowboys.
Yeah, because that guarantees the Giants has 2 wins.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. The pick is in for Chicago Bears. I'm going to tell you, the Bears moved up this far. I want to see the details again. I got to find
Mac Jones.
It's going to be one of the quarterbacks. I'm going to tell you, I think it's Mac Jones.
I think it's Mac Jones as well.
Yeah, but it's definitely one. You didn't move up this far. They moved up 9 spots to get here. I'm trying to find the details on I saw it. I know it's obviously they swap picks, a 5th-round pick this year. I thought I saw 2022 number 1, but I'm waiting to see.
I think, to be honest with you, I'm going to give Jerry Jones a little credit here because when those corners went off the board,
that
guy was off the board. So if the Eagles are going to give him picks to move up 2 spots,
1 pick, you got it for a 3rd rounder.
Yeah, well, they got an extra pick this year, and they move back 2 spots. They'll still get the same guy.
Oh, my God.
Especially now that Chicago's picking a quarterback.
Here comes Chicago's pick.
Through this year's draft-a-thon, the NFL is supporting our nation's path to recovery from COVID-19 by focusing on
Goodell's talking about the draft-a-thon. I don't know what that is. Get to the details. Come on, Jerry. Come on. Yeah.
It's something to do with the COVID-19 fund or something.
Health disparities rise in groups of color, indigenous communities, and for older and rural Americans.
I'm looking for the Giants.
With the CDC Foundation as part of a draft-a-thon to meet the basic needs like nutrition, safety.
Come on, give me the pick, you jerk off.
Carlos Nelson, who's behind me, has been doing.
Shut up. Jeff, I'm a bitter man, Jeff. I've officially admitted it. I'm a bitter man on that one.
When you root for the teams we root for, you become bitter men.
Well, it's the fact that my two worst teams, the two most hated teams in my life, got together and screwed my team.
Yeah. You look at your texts before they even did it. I text you, they're gonna fuck you guys right here. I wrote that.
All right, here comes the Chicago Bears pick. Let's see what they can do here.
Well, how exciting is this? With the 11th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the My Chicago Bears select Justin Fields.
Justin Fields off the board.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, Justin Fields off the board here. Wow. Listen, you knew it was a quarterback they moving up for. I guess they liked Fields.
Well,
Fields,
they like his mobility, probably. You're right.
Yeah, I think this is not a stretch. It's he's one of the two. Mac Jones is going to fall now to the Patriots unless there's another trade along the way. Maybe Jerry can come up and make a trade for somebody else now. Maybe Jerry can trade somebody else's team now. The Cowboys are on the clock. Maybe Jerry can have a heart attack or a stroke and we can watch it right here. Jeff, what do you think?
Listen, if somebody calls Jerry Jones right now for the 12th pick for Mac Jones, he's taking it.
He can make a pick with the stroke, Jeff. And
I think you're being a little harsh on him, man.
You think so?
Where's Matt when we need him?
Well, Matt was putting his head through a wall when Patrick Surtain came off the board. Matt went out. Matt went and put his head through the wall. But he came back and tried to justify his team's making the trade. Matt, still, Jerry Jones is a horror. Okay, I want him to have a stroke on the draft and let him still make the picks tonight because it wouldn't be any different either way. Sorry, that's just the way I feel.
You need Jerry Jones to be around for a long, long time.
I do, but I want him to be incapacitated. I want him to be in a chair, and he like blows into the thing and makes the picks. The computer.
He makes the pick with his tongue.
Yeah.
Dude, until he's out of there, if he's going to make moves like that, how could you not?
Yeah,
man, holy shit! I'd be sending him a care basket.
Yeah, I agree. So, but. Yeah, listen, this is an interesting draft night. This whole draft has been turned upside down. Yes, we got a lot to talk about.
I don't think anybody's mock draft was right after 2.
Yeah, I guess not. No, my draft my board is totally wiped out. 2 weeks of serious study was completely out the window on this one. I have to tell you, this is not even funny. So right now the Cowboys are on the clock. Justin Fields goes to the Bears. Jeff, it's this whole thing's up in the air now. So now Cowboys, what do the Cowboys do here? Do they take a lineman? Do they go fuck themselves? I'm not sure which way the Cowboys go at this point.
I don't know, man, but it's certainly
they need a corner. They have to go corner.
Making me feel good about the Jets' next pick. Nobody's taking a running back. I'd like to see them get either ETN or the kid from Alabama.
The Dolphins are taking Harris at 18.
Yeah. Well, maybe Jerry Jones will step in and make a trade and give you maybe Jerry Jones will step in. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna get the details on the Giants trade here. Giants trade the 11th pick in the draft. What is the trade? What is the? Give me the details.
They got. I'll tell you what they were. They got the first this year, a third, a fifth, and something else next year. I think another first next year.
I think they got a number one. Now, Jeff, if the Giants come out with all of that for that, Jeff, what do you think? Will you give them?
No.
They got 4 good picks.
Yeah.
They got the first this year, the first next year, and I think a third and a fifth.
I know they got a fifth this year. They added another fifth this year. So that's I'll take it. You know what? Maybe the Cowboys will take Raphael Septien. They go out and get a kicker. Yeah.
As long as you guys at 20 could still get Slater, that would be the pick I think you guys should get.
I'm thrilled with the Giants trade. I think the Giants, while they got screwed, I think the Giants did a good job. I think Gettleman got a real good value to get out of that spot, and they've Jeff, Frankie, you know what? They'll wind up, I think, at that point looking defense. I would think. I think at that point you're looking at defense.
But I think if Slater falls that back to 20, I think you should take him there.
You got Tucker. You got a bunch of
Tucker,
that'll fall that deep. So I think it's so Jeff, you want to still hang with this, Jeff? You good?
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good.
We'll hang a little while longer with you guys. Hard Rocket Sports. The Cowboys pick is in. There's Jerry on the screen. Looks like he's having a stroke. There he is. Yeah, I hope. Yeah. I hope somebody has to do a Heimlich and they forgot. That's all. I hope he chokes on a chicken bone.
I like to see who the heck they're picking because the two guys that I thought they would have picked the gun.
Yeah, it should be interesting to me at this point. I mean, yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, Jerry at this point will probably take a punter. He'll probably take a punter.
They grab a ball boy at this point.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah. I think Jerry just put his pick in. He wants to draft Kyle Pitts. He didn't realize Pitts was gone at this point. He's taking Kyle Pitts. Fucking what a disaster! I gotta watch the Eagles jump ahead of the Giants and take the guy that we wanted. It just makes me sick. But I feel better. The Giants got a real good haul back. You're getting this year's number one, next year's number one, a 3, a 5 this year. This is pretty good. The Cowboys pick is in.
I like what the Giants did. Once their guy was gone, once the Eagles jumped up and their guy was gone, they made the.
I'm going to tell you right now. I think the Cowboys are taking Micah Parsons. That's my pick.
Might not be a bad pick here.
Again, I still think that guy's a bum. Jeff, you feeling better about Micah Parsons now that he's not going to be a Giant, or you still want him to be a Giant?
I still want him to be a Giant. So his career to go down to the bowl.
You got to see this guy is dressed. Got a cowboy hat on. I don't even know what kind of jacket he's wearing.
Isn't he the original cowboy? Remember back in the 70s and the 80s, the cowboy guy that used to shoot the 2 guns on the sidelines when they scored? Isn't that him?
I don't know. He looks awful young to be that guy. That guy was old 1970.
Yeah, you're probably right.
This is an Iraq war veteran. We can't make fun of him. Kawiki Burdine.
It's a girl.
No, it's not.
He just said she.
No, that is not a woman. No way.
He just said she.
Tom, nice.
Jeff.
I don't know what she looks like.
Jeff.
But you said don't make fun. Be nice.
I only wish I could flip the TV, my computer on so you could say, listen, she's a vet. I'll leave it alone. It is a woman. Yes, Frank, you're 100% right. I would tell you with the mask on, you couldn't tell, but doesn't matter.
With the mask on and the cowboy hat, you're right. You don't really see it, and she has glasses, so you don't really see it.
Micah Parsons, linebacker, Penn State, is now another of Jerry Jones' rejects. Great job, Jerry. Get the bail money ready, brother. Get the bail money ready. Jerry, get the bail money ready. Micah's going to be nice. Him and Randy Gregory smoking pot. Him and Randy Gregory can smoke pot and get suspended for the season together. Awesome. Looking forward to it. Thank God for Jerry Jones.
Yep.
Micah Parsons, another guy opted out last year, off the field troubles. Good job by Jerry. Jerry, keep Jerry in the seat. That's all I can tell you. Come on, Matt. Tell me it was a good move. Tell me it was a good move, Matt. Tell me. Yeah, middle linebacker who blitzes. That's the guy you want to draft. A middle linebacker best known for blitzing. There's the guy. Jerk-offs.
It's more for, like you said, his character. He was.
Oh, yeah. Listen, he's a guy who's got a lot of ability. He's a guy who makes plays, but he's a middle linebacker whose specialty is making plays in the other team's backfield as a blitzer. I watched his highlights. I watched some of his games. Again, good ball player. At this point, he's probably the best player available defensively. So, listen, good job. He's on top of Dopey Danny. Oh my God, Matt! Matt, I wish you were on tonight. You can't be happy with these picks. Oh my God!
Where is Matt?
Matt's home. He's got his head in the wall. He's trying to get his head out of the wall.
Trying to get his head out of the wall.
Yeah, he's trying to get his head out of the wall from losing Sertan and his boy Jerry Jones.
Is he calling up Iggy Mo to help him patch the
Yeah.
I don't think it's right that he's making fun of your boy.
Oh my God, Dopey Danny! You guys wish you had Danny Dimes. Yeah, you got a $40 million quarterback.
Dude, I got fucking Zach Wilson now. What are you kidding me?
Not you. I'm talking about Matt.
Oh, yeah, well, maybe he does.
Yeah, you got Zach Wilson. There you go. BYU. He's the guy. Yeah, good job with that. We'll see. All right, listen, Cowboys. The Cowboys trade back. They get Micah Parsons. 2019 first team All-American. Yeah, got you. Didn't play last year. Again, a good ball player. We'll see how the Cowboys needed linebackers. Sean Lee retires. Van Dash can't stay healthy, and Jalen Smith makes a lot of plays down the field. So, this is a good pick for the Cowboys.
Yeah, they need defensive help, like you said.
They absolutely needed defensive help. The corner would have been the better spot.
Yep.
But they wound up with Mika Parsons. And again, everything I watch is he's rushing the quarterback up the middle. Good luck rushing the A gap in the pros, but that's okay. You can bring your middle linebacker and see how good that does. Thank God for Jerry. Keep Jerry in the seat. That's all I keep saying. Keep Jerry in the seat. Let him keep making the picks, and the Cowboys will still be finishing 8-8 and feeling real good about it. My Giants win more Super Bowls since you guys.
Well, they can't finish 8-8 no more, Tom.
It's true. 8-9. Thank you, Frank.
They can finish 8-8-1.
Yeah. So right now on the clock, we should have that was the Cowboys at 12. We got the Los Angeles Chargers
at 13. Yeah, there's Chargers.
Yeah, Chargers are on the clock right now. I think they're going to take Slater. I think they're looking for some offensive line help. I think Slater comes off the board right here. This is my spot where I think Slater falls. So the Chargers got to give some protection to Justin Herbert, and I don't see them reaching for an offensive weapon here. So let's see what else. That's all I have on the board.
Now, the wide receivers that are available left, like you said, usually wear them in the second round. I think Slater's a good pick here.
Yeah, Slater's going to go here, and we'll see where we're at. We're pushing along here. We got Minnesota, then the Patriots. Are the Patriots in line, guys, to take Mac Jones? Are the Patriots ready to jump in?
I think so. Not unless the fucking Vikings take him.
The Vikings aren't going to take a quarterback. I can't see that. Maybe.
Yeah.
It's possible. I think they could get rid of Cousins after this year.
Yeah.
He's not owed any money, guaranteed money.
Right now, Mac Jones is sitting in there praying to the football gods and any other god listening that he falls to 15 now.
Oh, sure. At this point, at this point, he's not going to Chargers, and he's not going to. I don't suspect the Vikings taking a quarterback here, but it's not unheard of at this point. No,
no, but I'm saying if the Vikings take a quarterback here, Mac Jones now he's in a competition with the guy that they traded for, so he's going to be a backup.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Cousins last year of having guaranteed money is this year.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
So they can end up getting rid of him after this year.
Yeah, after this year. But this year they got to play him.
Yeah,
they got to play him, but then they got a back quarterback to replace him.
No, listen, it's not far-fetched to think that they might
not for nothing. Frank, the last place you want this fucking kid to go is to the Patriots. You're a Dolphins fan. I know. You want to see him go up to Minnesota. It's probably right, but
it's the Dolphins and Jets' luck that Mac Jones is just going to fall into Belichick's lap. He ain't going to have to trade up to get him, move anywhere to get him. He's just going to sit at 15 and grab Mac Jones.
Chargers pick is in. I'm telling you, I think it's Chargers, Vikings, Patriots, and then the Cardinals. Let's hope the Cardinals aren't picking another quarterback in the first round this year. I don't think they will, but we'll see. But the Chargers pick is in, where I think we're in a commercial break, so it'll be a few minutes before we get to that pick.
The Cardinals, I could see picking a running back too. They could use a good running back.
They could use a running back there. They could. I have them taking a defensive lineman. I have them taking Christian Barmore at that point. Yeah, I mean,
a bigger need for them, so I could see that. Obviously,
yeah. The Raiders are up, then the Dolphins, Redskins, and then the Bears, and then the Giants in the Bear spot. So we're moving along right here. We'll get to at least the Giants, I think, before we call it a night. But some fireworks started. I think the whole draft got thrown off kilter with the 9th pick with the Denver Broncos. A little surprised that they took Patrick Surtain there. And then the Cowboys, with the dumb move of dumb moves, moved back 2 picks and let the Eagles get Devontae Smith. But then the Giants pull off a great trade and wind up with a couple number 1 picks, number 3 and number 5, and trade down, and we'll get a nice pick down at number 20. So we'll see how it plays out. Guys, give me your quick thoughts on the draft so far. Anything stands out to you so far beside my bitterness?
Listen, I think it's great that you're getting bitter, man.
You do?
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It just goes to show that the Giants are an inferior team to everybody else in the league, especially the NFC East.
Yes, I got you. So the Giants are winning the NFC East this year.
I hope they continue to do the fucking imitation of The Rock and just keep fucking going down.
Frank, give me your quick thoughts on the first round of the draft so far with 12 picks down.
It's so far it's been crazy, and I agree with Denver doing what they did. Like we talked about, what happens at 3 will affect 4, 5, 6. Well, what happened at 9 affected 10, 11, 12.
Yeah, because if Denver picks a quarterback, which I can't believe they didn't.
Right.
If Denver takes a quarterback there or anything else, the Cowboys are taking Patrick Surtain, and the Giants get Devontae Smith.
Yep.
And by Denver taking the corner, it threw the whole draft. Jerry
threw
Jones
the whole thing off. Yeah, because Denver took Dallas's guy.
Sure,
so they
absolutely.
were like, okay, now what do we do? And the Eagles called them and said, hey, look, being that your guy's gone, let's flip picks.
Yeah.
And so we can get our guy. And like I said, in return, they screwed the Giants.
Oh, absolutely.
But then, like you said, the Giants bounced back by saying, okay, you guys think you screwed us, but we'll move to 20 and get 4 more picks.
Yeah, and the next year they'll have 2 number 1 picks.
Yeah.
I got to be honest with you. I see the Giants to sometime like close to 2029 being 4th place team in that division. They're being held down, Tom.
They are?
Oh, definitely, without a doubt.
Hold on. There's a call coming on the hotline. Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead. See what he has to say now.
Dave, what's up? Dave, great job, by the way. But what? Oh, Dave said to go fuck yourself, Jeff. Oh, thanks, Dave. We'll check back in with your pick. Good luck.
Yeah, well, same time next year, Davey.
Yeah. So Dave said go fuck yourself. So
I actually like what the Giants did. Their guy was gone. Their guy was gone. They could get they could get their next need at 20 and pick up some extra picks. Like I said, especially the number 1 next year is huge. So
no, listen, you did the best you could with what you listen. It would have been great to put Devontae Smith in a Giant uniform.
I like the receivers.
Listen, I hope next year. Yeah. I hope the fucking Bears win the Super Bowl.
Okay, here's the Chargers pick is in. Let's bring it up on the volume. Let's see. I'm telling you, I think it's going to be an offensive lineman here.
I think so too. That would be the smart pick for them.
Makes sense.
In the 2021 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Chargers select Rashawn Slater Jr., tackle, Northwestern.
Yep, Rashawn Slater, tackle from Northwestern, is a Chargers makes total sense. You've been
smart. One of the first picks that I could say they did it right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's been a long time since we said this was a smart pick. Speaking of dumb picks, we got a Cowboy or Cowgirl fan on. I got to bring him on because he's going to try to justify what his team did. And it's not going to end well for him. But let me get him on and give him a chance to pull his head out of his ass at the wall. Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
There he goes. Go ahead. So,
are you pointing to your injury from smashing your head?
Are you showing how many brain cells Jerry's got in his head?
First of all, you are fucking bitter.
I am bitter. I admit to being bitter.
Listen, here's my point. And I agree with you 100% that Jerry Jones is a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. They wanted Horn or Surtain. They're off the board. So what difference does it make if they traded down a spot or two? They got a pick, which they wouldn't have gotten. And they didn't want Smith anyway. The Giants did. So if he goes to the Giants, then they kept him from going to the Giants. He went to the Eagles. I don't care either way. But we didn't get the corners that I wanted. And as far as Micah Parsons is concerned, I did plenty of research on what everyone's saying his character concerns. I mean, the guy's a beast. I don't care what anybody says. He is a sideline-to-sideline linebacker who's 6'3.5", 250. It runs a 4.4. The guy's a beast. So now, if you said earlier all he is a blitzer, he's not just a blitzer.
I watched
the guy runs sideline to sideline, makes plays in the backfield, can cover tight ends down the field, and he gets skinny through the hole because he knows how to blitz. So if he's rushing the passer, we're not going to have to cover that long in the secondary. And in the second round,
I think he's a good linebacker.
They have three.
So if you're that,
they have 3 third-round picks now. So they can take two of those threes and move up high in the second and get the next best corner.
If you're that happy with the pick, why did you put your head in the wall when Surtain came off the board?
Because you know what? I was pissed off because leading up to the draft, it was all about Surtain and Horn.
I got you. But
I can't believe that Denver, who has Drew Lock, didn't take a fucking quarterback.
Yeah, I still don't understand that. I will not understand.
And Carolina has Teddy Bridgewater, and they didn't take a quarterback. Are you kidding?
No.
Teddy Bridgewater
got traded.
To Denver. He's in Denver.
I know. Oh, that's right. I mean Darnold. I'm sorry. I meant Darnold.
I agree. We all agreed.
I mean, he didn't pick up Darnold's 5th year.
Yeah,
Parsons was definitely the best defensive player on the board at that point. Without a doubt.
Oh no, there's no doubt about that. I'm not disagreeing that he is, but he's
so,
not.
So why do you?
He's the
so
next
why
great
do you
player.
Take your heart out of it for a second. Why do you think that? And again, I agree with you that Jerry Jones is a fucking idiot. But why do you think it's such a bad trade when you kept a player away from another NFC East team who was going to get him anyway? Why do you think that's such a bad trade? They got a draft pick that they would have normally not gotten.
You ended
and
up
it wasn't for a quarterback. The Giants made a great trade with the Bears because it was a premier pick, and they knew it. They got a first-round pick.
I have to agree with you. I said it, and I told Tommy that you're not going to like this, but I'm going to compliment Jerry Jones. Remember, I said it to you earlier.
I heard you.
I thought it was a good move to do because their guys were gone. The two guys they wanted.
The Giants made a great trade because the Bears were desperate for quarterback help.
Hold on. The Jets
you let a dangerous player in your division anyway.
Hold on, guys. The Jets are on the clock. The Jets are now on the clock at 14. The Jets have moved up from 23 to 14. So the Jets are on the clock.
They're going to take Harris because they know the Dolphins will.
I would agree with you. I think the Jets have moved up to grab a running back here, Jeff.
Absolutely. Harris.
Right in front of them, yes. And Mac Jones will be going to the New England
Patriots.
Yeah.
So the Jets in all their fucking wisdom just helped New England get Mac Jones. To fuck the Dolphins to get Harris away from us.
Yeah.
You fucking morons.
Hey, Frankie, you could still get Travis Etienne. That's not a bad fallback.
The reason why I don't like Travis, not that I don't like Travis Etienne, he's a really good running back, but he's the same as what we got right now. I needed somebody
he's not.
Like Harris is more 3-down back.
No, he's not. The same as what you have. No way.
Travis Etienne just has too much wear on the tires.
First of all, you guys are putting too much faith in the Jets that they're going to take a running back.
They're taking out.
Right. They may be taking a fucking another safety for all you know. You don't know.
Listen, they could be taking Tucker.
What did the Chargers take?
The Chargers took Slater.
Oh, okay, good pick for them.
Yeah, very good pick. Yeah, absolutely. That's a great pick. I think the Jets could go offensive line here. They can go Slater. There's a couple of guys they could go for right now.
Slater just left.
Not Slater. I'm sorry. I'm Tucker.
Tucker.
They can go Tucker. They could. I think it's going to be Najee Harris. If you're going to move up that far,
I think you're moving up to Najee Harris.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a good pick for the Jets. I think the Jets have had a nice first round if that's their pick.
Listen, Cowboys, Najee Harris. Everybody. I keep telling everybody this. Najee Harris is going to be the next Le'Veon Bell. The way he plays out of the backfield, he's got great hands out of the backfield.
I think he's going to be better than Le'Veon Bell.
Oh, yeah, I think he's going to be better, but I'm saying that kind of player.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeff.
No, what did the Jets give up to get?
I don't know. I'm not seeing. I'm trying to get the trades here.
I'm sure that it was probably a couple number ones that they have somewhere in the future.
Oh, yeah, you're going to have to give it up one of next year's number one picks. You give up this year's, obviously. You get your.
Are we doing a show tomorrow before the draft again?
Well, I have to tell. So the Giants. So here's what the Giants. The Giants got the 20th pick in the draft, the 5th round of this year, a 2022 first round pick, and a 2022 4th round pick. Nice job by Dave Gettleman.
They got the first round pick because they knew the Bears wanted a quarterback, so it's a great trade.
Right.
Yeah, it's a good trade for the Giants.
They got 2 first rounders next year.
Are we going to do one tomorrow? We could try. I have no problem. If you guys are available, I could try if I get out of work early enough. We could do another one tomorrow.
The second round starts at 7, so if we come on at 8.
Yeah, we could. I might be able to swing that. I'll let you guys know during the day tomorrow. Let me make sure.
You're going to be building buildings in Florida with the palm trees.
Please. Yeah, I'm going to be sending statues to Jerry Jones.
The industry down here in Florida is freaking booming. All the New Yorkers and New Jersey guys are moving down here.
Holy shit. I want to. You know what? First thing I want to say was I want to have a stroke and die. But then I said, you know what? No, it'd be better if he just lives and stays there and stays general manager for the next 20 years. Guarantee less.
Listen, like I said, I don't like the trade because it helped the division rival, but they got something that they would not have got because the Giants were going to take Smith.
Yes, there's no doubt in my mind they're taking Smith at that moment. Absolutely, 100%.
So like I said, they're going to pay Smith twice
the Jets
a year
get a
anyway.
fourth round
Who cares
pick.
if it's the Giants or the Eagles when they can get an extra pick and get the guy?
The Jets gave up third-round picks, 66. They gave up 2 third-round picks this year and a swap for of their picks. So 2 third-round picks this year, Jeff. That's what the Jets.
And you know, I'm always of the belief that a pass rush is more
good.
important than a secondary.
All right, so I think the Jets pick is in. We're waiting on that. On the clock is the New England Patriots. Guys, I don't think there's any doubt in my mind the Jets are going to go running back here, and the Patriots are going to take Mac Jones. I think he fell a lot further, but I thought from the very beginning that Mac Jones would be a Patriot before this draft. I just didn't think.
Yeah, I thought they'd have to trade up to get him now.
Yeah, I thought they'd have to trade up to get him. Matt, are you surprised by that?
No, I am surprised by it. I really am. The Patriots are probably really happy. They just sat right where they needed to, and it fell right in their lap.
Yeah, I didn't give up any draft capital. Jeff, what does that do for the division, Jeff? Do you think that levels the playing field? I mean, do you think that it's a matter for this year?
No, I still think it's going to be Bills, Dolphins, Patriots, Jets.
All right, well, we're going to find out.
I don't think it's going to affect it this year, but next year and the year after that, when he's getting in a rhythm with their offense, that's when it'll affect it.
All right, commissioner's coming to the podium. Another spectacular looking Jet fan sitting in the chair.
I might be going to put my head through the wall right now.
Yes, you might be, Frank. Hold on.
Because the Jets just did to me what the Eagles just did to Tommy.
Yeah, hang on. Here comes the pick.
The Minnesota Vikings have traded the 14th pick to the New York Jets. With the 14th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Elijah Vera Tucker.
Wow, they did. Elijah Vera Tucker, guard from USC. I'm not crazy. Wow, Jeff.
They actually did something good.
Yeah.
It's not a bad pick at all. He can play left tackle or kick inside the guard.
Well, the Jets traded up for a guard, tackle.
Well, they said now they're going to put that other kid, Connor. What was his name? Connor? McGregor, not McGregor. They're going to put him on back to center.
Yes.
Yes.
And they got themselves a guard now.
You know what pissed me off as a Jet fan? Why are they doing all this now, trying to get an offensive line, and they never did it for fucking Darnold?
Yeah.
Different regime. They got rid of everybody. It's a new regime.
True.
Yeah, but it's still football. It's still basic premise. You got a quarterback. You got to build an offensive line.
I agree with you.
They tried last year to do it on the cheap, and it didn't work out.
I don't know. Anyway, I got to go. I got a meatball parm in the oven. So there you go, Tommy. Sit on that star, baby. Woohoo!
Yeah. It's all right. 4th place next year, dickhead. All right. I
8-1.
He's out. I just kicked him off the studio. He's out.
You're out of here. Get off my phone.
Yeah. So, Jeff, what do you think? Jeff, are you happy with your team moving up from 23 to 14 to get Elijah Vera Tucker, USC guard?
I don't know. I mean, I read about him and everything, and they said that he was good, but you know,
they got
I don't know. He's 6'5", 308 pounds. He's a big boy.
Well, Jeff, here's the thing. We picked on the Jets for many years.
Best, most highly ranked offensive guard.
Yep, absolutely.
He's a beast. It's a good pick. He's a.
You know what, Jeff? Here's the thing. We've bashed the Jets for not shoring up the offensive line, and they went out and did it. Patriots pick is in. It's quick. I don't think there's any doubt in my mind the Patriots are going Mac Jones. If Mac Jones slips here, boy, Mac Jones is going to fall far. And maybe to Pittsburgh. It could be the Redskins, although I can't see the Redskins.
He ain't going to Pittsburgh.
So Mac Jones is here?
I think if he slips out of here, it's going to be to Washington.
19, yeah, it's possible. Yeah, you're probably right.
I can't see it. No, I can't see New England not taking him.
I agree. I would shock me here. So that sets up pretty good for you, Frank. The Raiders are probably taking the safety, and Arizona could take a running back.
Arizona could take a running back. That's the team I was worried about.
I think, especially with the DB's gone, but the pick is in for the Patriots. Waiting for the commissioners walk into the podium. This was done very quickly, I have to tell you. So
yeah, it's Mac Jones.
I can't see it being anything but Mac Jones. I think Bill.
I think there was still 5 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, it was definitely very quick. Here comes the commissioner. He's at the podium with another.
He's got a guest.
Yeah, he does have a guest who I guess will be making the pick itself.
Yeah.
With food insecurity, a challenge.
I will stay. He's doing food insecurity stuff. There's no food insecurity around here. So again, we're gonna hang.
How was the chicken? How was the chili?
Chili was amazing this year. My wife is my tradition. Is my wife makes me chili on the draft night every year. A couple years in a row, Jeff came out and he got to, I guess, enjoy it.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. It was very good.
This year was top of the line chili. She had it cooking all day, nice simmering. Oh, it was great.
I have my usual Thursday night Chinese food.
Oh.
My tradition is to make buffalo wings. I make my buffalo wings, and actually, my son's a chef, so he makes them for me this year. So, Tommy, when you're down in Florida, she makes the chili, I make the wings. It's going to be great.
There you go. Here's the pick for the Patriots.
Let's see what we got.
The 15th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the 6-time world champion New England Patriots select Mac Jones.
There it is. Mac Jones is a New England Patriot. He falls to 15. The guy who's supposed to be the third pick of the draft, and he is falling.
Once again, it's that New England luck.
But if you're going to fall in the draft, it ain't a bad place to land, Jeff.
No, of course not. The only problem is that how long is Belichick going to be there for this kid?
Well, the good news would be that I would think the heir apparent to Belichick is on the thing, and I think Belichick will stay around enough to get this team back straightened out. And listen, Mac Jones, a lot of guys don't like him, but a lot of people say he's in that mold of the pocket passer and the guy that best represents the Tom Brady era for them. So let's see.
Right, and they're setting up their offense to go with, like you said, the heir apparent offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
He likes that double tight end set with a pocket passer.
Yeah.
They're putting the pieces together to make him a successful heir apparent to Belichick.
Yeah, I could see this kid starting this year. And I know they got Jeff. I know they got what's his name?
Cam Newton ain't going to be quarterback by week 8, man.
Yeah, you agree, right? You think he's going to be this kid will be starting at some point very early in the season. Yeah.
By the halfway point.
Yeah, Frankie, I think the only thing that hurts Mac Jones is the fact that the off season is going to be a lot more zoomed and virtual. I think given a full off season, this kid probably could start immediately for that team.
Yeah, no, I agree, and that's the sad part. Like I said, between the CBA and now all this coronavirus, where they're cutting everything back and stuff, they think it's helping, but it's not. It's really not. It's hurting developing quarterbacks and offensive linemen, positions that you have to have reps to get better at.
Yeah. Well, it's been an interesting, it went from a very boring first few picks to a very interesting set. The Jets move up. The Cowboys move back, and the Eagles make a trade with a division rival. I wanted, let me, a conspiracy theory a little bit here. If the Giants weren't picking after and in between, do you think that the Cowboys would still have made that pick?
Yeah, I think so. You know what? I'm gonna reverse that. I'm gonna go back to what I said to Matt. The Cowboys looked at it as, we're gonna face Devontae Smith 2 times on the Giants or 2 times on the Eagles. Either way, we're gonna face him 2 times. Now, face him 2 times on the Eagles, move back and get an extra pick, or face him 2 times against the Giants and stay where we are. And they made the right move. They moved back and got the extra pick.
We'll see. The Arizona Cardinals pick is already in. I'm going to bet they're taking a running back here. They could, Caleb Farley is a guy who's fallen, could fall out of the first round. 2 back surgeries. They could go safety here. There's a couple ways they could go, but I think one of the running backs comes off the board finally.
Don't they need a cornerback too?
Yeah, but the corners that they want are off.
Yeah, I mean, after the first 2 quarterbacks, Jeff, when J.C. Horn and Surtain came off the board, the next best one is Caleb Farley, and he's had a couple back surgeries. He's had some issues. He's got a lot of upside, and he can really run, but I don't know if
you can still get him in the second round.
I think that's a guy you could probably find in the second round. So we'll see. I think they may go running back here. I'm trying to look at my board. Yeah, they go defensive back, wide receiver, which I think is a stretch, defensive tackle, offensive line, and running back is where I got them needs, what their needs are. So I think it's going to be running back. I think the high guy here, and I think Harris comes off the board here. I do. I know Frank.
Yeah, unfortunately, I do too, because things aren't going our way. So I think if the corners, like you said, if one of those corners was still available here,
yeah,
I think they would have grabbed the corner. But now that they're gone, I can see them grabbing a running back.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it depends on what they're looking for. I think, be honest with you, because they like to play fast, they might go with the Clemson guy, because he's a breakaway speed kind of.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I like Etienne. I just think that my problem with Etienne is he's got a lot of mileage on the tires. He played a lot of football games in college, and I think that's, he's young, but 3-4 years from now, you may be looking for a new guy. I think if you're going to take a running back here, it's probably Harris, but the pick is in.
I'm taking Harris. All right, I'm not going to kid you. But like you said, their style with the quick, they like to play fast.
Hey, 4 guys from Alabama already taken in the draft. The commissioner is making the walk up to the podium, so we're going to get the pick from Arizona. We'll probably stay on the air till the Giants pick. Gettleman will be giving me a call any second. I'll get the inside story. Here's Goodell.
With the 16th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals select Zayden Collins, linebacker, Tulsa.
Again, a good solid pick, a good ball play, Zayden Collins.
A little surprised, but a good pick.
Yeah, again, a guy who, again, I'm a little surprised. I didn't think that there was a big need at linebacker for them, but okay, they showed up the defense that picked up J.J. Watt this year. So, I mean, a good solid pick, and Frank, it leaves the door open for your Dolphins to take Najee Harris.
Let's hope they do that instead of grabbing an edge rusher.
Yeah, I mean, none of them would come off the board. You still have all the edge rushers still sitting there waiting to come off the board, Frank. So we'll see.
I think, but see, that actually bodes better for me. If some of the edge rushers have come off the board already, just like the corners, I'd be saying, okay, the Dolphins are going to panic and grab an edge rusher because then there's going to be none left. But now that they haven't, we still pick at 36. So there'll still be 1 or 2 of those edge rushers available at 36.
Yeah, it's funny. I have Zayden Collins as the 3rd ranked linebacker behind Bolton and Parsons, and he went second on that 6'4", 260, a big guy. So we'll see how that works out. I mean, this is going to be interesting coming down the line here. Where we got now? Who's up here now? The Raiders. I think they're going to go safety. I like Trayvon Moehrig from TCU. To go here, I think they're going to go defense. This is going to be interesting. Got a couple more picks to the Giants, Jeff. This has been an interesting second half of the second half of the top 10.
What do you got till the first Giants pick?
Well, this is going to be pick number 16. The Giants are picking 20. So
no, this is 17.
This is 17. Oh, the Raiders, right? Yeah,
you got the Raiders,
17,
you got the Dolphins, and you got Washington, then the Giants.
Yeah, so now the Redskins are. I think the Redskins are going to wind up going receiver. I think Rashad Bateman goes. I think they need help on the offense. They would have been quarterback if there was one left. I don't think they'll take one.
No.
Dolphins probably take Harris is probably right. Although they could go linebacker here. You could use some help on the defense, but I agree. The running backs, man, they're falling a little further than I thought. Maybe they might go a little earlier.
I think, like I said, to me, it would be smart if the Dolphins go running back here. If the edge rushers were coming off the board quicker, like the cornerbacks are, then I can see the Dolphins panicking and grabbing one to get a good one. But being that they're not, I still think you can get a good one at 36. I would take, because you're not going to get Harris at 36. He's not going to get, like you said, he's not going to get past Pittsburgh.
No, but you could certainly get one of the guys from North Carolina, either Williams or Carter. Again, you could go Chuba Hubbard. He'll still be there. Again, I'm not a big fan of the guy, but
no, I don't like Hubbard either. Yeah, Williams, I like. Williams.
Yeah, there's some players here, so we'll see. We'll get down to the Giants, and then we'll have called it a night. But it's been fun. A little bit. Jeff, I have to admit, I was a little bitter for a minute. I still am. But
It's all right, man. It's good. It's good to watch that, man.
yeah, it was a little bitter.
As a Jet fan, he needs the company.
There you go.
It's true.
Well, I'm not bitter. I'm understanding that no matter what they do, they're going to suck. Tommy's just bugging out because he didn't get the guys that he wanted. He has a list of guys that he wanted. I know.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, I do too.
Yeah, listen, I said from the beginning, I would have been thrilled with any of the receivers. I would have been happy with any of the two big top offensive linemen. They could have still stayed 11 and taken Rashawn Slater, but I think the Giants did a smart move. I think Gettleman did a great job moving down. Let's see what they get when they get there. Do I wish evil on Jerry Jones? Of course I do. I just wish he stays there forever. That'd be my gift to
But like
Matt.
I said, it was a smart move because this guy wasn't there. He was going to face Smith twice anyway. What's the difference to him? Eagles, the Giants, and he got an extra pick out of it.
He has been there forever. How much longer do you think he you know what I mean?
I hope it's 20 more years. 20 more years in the chair, blinking his picks. I want him to be blinking the picks. I want him to blink
All
the
right,
picks.
what he calls pick is in.
Yeah, the Raiders pick is in. Again, I think it's going to be a defensive pick. I'm betting safety at this point.
Yeah, they need secondary help. So I'm betting safety too.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a safety help here. On the clock is the Miami Dolphins and then Washington, followed up by the Giants, and that'll bring the end of our. So
we'd love to see the half man's take on this.
Yeah, it's a good question. I did not. Anyway, did you see the half man's beard? Did anybody see the half man's?
What the fuck was that? What was that?
I don't know. That's like every bad beard you ever saw on America's Most Wanted. Like that picture of the guy.
Yeah, guy robs a bank, so he dyes his beard blonde.
Yeah, just bad. Like Dom, why are you bringing more? My question would be, Dom, why are you bringing more attention to your face? It's like the last thing you want.
That's the last thing you want, right?
By the way,
Yeah,
I think the half man will be sitting in with me next week on the show live at my home. My wife thought she was doing a good thing by inviting him over with his new fiance for dinner, and he would sit in on the show with me for a while.
Oh boy!
So the half man will be in studio at this point, not sitting next to me. I'm going to put another computer in front of him on the other side of the table, but I'll be staring at the half man during the whole show.
Oh boy, lucky you!
Or maybe I'll get him to sit on the shelf.
And keep his little hands like this.
The Giants could still end up getting Elijah Moore here too. He's not a bad wide receiver.
No, listen. There are a bunch of good plays still on the board right now. The Giants have, I think. Listen, whatever they come out of there with, it'll be a help. I think the Giants are going to have to help themselves more in the second round of the draft, but it's okay. But the pick is in for the Raiders. Coming to the podium right now is the commissioner, Roger Goodell. So we're going to go a lot. We'll bring up the volume on the TV and see what we got. Raiders, I'm Jeff, Frankie, and I think in defense.
In the 2021 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select Alex Leatherwood, tackle, Alabama.
Alex Leatherwood, not a guy that's been on any of my draft boards. Let me see if I have him on my draft board anywhere.
Was he an offensive lineman or something?
Yeah, he's an offensive tackle from Alabama.
But yeah, I mean, he's not even in my top 5.
He is. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's not a bad offensive lineman, but they could have got him in the 3rd round.
Guys, I have like 17 different like trade papers and stuff I've gone through. He's not on the top 10 of any one of them.
I read his name. But you know what? Remember a couple years last year?
Yeah.
That was it last year or the year before they drafted that wide receiver that everybody was like, "What the fuck they draft him for?"
Yeah.
And he actually did pretty good so far.
But this is you remember earlier we were talking about later in the draft you could pick up a couple of offensive linemen that are halfway decent. This was one of the guys I was thinking about.
No, listen, I hear you, but once again, dude, if you think it's your guy, you can't say nothing.
I have the 2021 draft Bible. And the draft Bible has him the eighth ranked left tackle not tackle, not offensive lineman, not tackle.
Yeah, left tackle, right.
The eighth one. I mean, that you were reached for 8. I mean, that's a
yeah.
No, I hear you, but you know,
like
maybe,
I said, this is an offensive tackle that like I talked about.
Wow.
You could pick up later in the draft. He's kind of a little bit of a project.
Yeah.
You could work with him. You could develop him. He'll be a good backup on an injury fill-in. This guy is not, to me, a starting tackle.
Yeah, this is not a guy. This is not a guy you're jumping up here to grab. But okay, that picks in. We're on the clock.
All right.
now.
So now we need. Now let's make.
I'll be right back.
Moojos together, and we're getting our guy.
Frank, you got the world's yours. That's 5 Alabama players in the top 20 so far.
Yeah.
So
it's about to be 6. Dolphins pick is in.
The Dolphins pick is in. That's correct. On the clock right now is the Washington football team, otherwise known as the Washington Redskins. I think that team right now is going to be reaching for some sort of a receiver. I would be shocked if the Redskins do not take a receiver. At that point, again, Frankie, I'm with you. I think it's Najee Harris. So I think the Dolphins will be coming out of this with smiles on their faces, having a good draft. Two Alabama receivers, players in the draft so far for them.
And we got the Alabama quarterback. But I don't know, after this Leatherwood pick and how this draft's been going, who knows? They might be picking – I don't even know who.
Yeah, this is interesting right here. If Harris doesn't go off the board here, then the running backs are going to be on the board for a while. I'll be a little surprised.
Pittsburgh will be picking Harris at 24.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, there will definitely be a running back taken there. I'm trying to think.
Buffalo will take a running back for sure. They're really weak on running backs.
I would agree with that. No, not there. Baltimore, no.
Baltimore, no. I can't see.
Cleveland, no. They got 2 backs there. Jacksonville, maybe. I doubt
Jacksonville in the next round, maybe.
Yeah,
or maybe they'll grab a wide receiver at that point.
Oh, let's see. We got a couple more picks before the Giants. The Dolphins pick is in. We're waiting for the commissioner to make the walk to the podium. I think he's out there. Is that him now? Yep. Goodell's headed to the podium. We got a quick pick here. So I'm betting Najee Harris, Frank. I'm sure you're staying the same that way, right?
Yep. That's my bet, my hope, my dream. That's the guy I want.
Here it comes. Roger Goodell at the mic. Let's see what we got, Jeff.
With the 18th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Jalen Phillips, defensive end.
Wow, they went edge rusher with Jalen Phillips from Miami. Wow,
not a bad pick. I can't get mad.
No, it's not a terrible pick. They put they're looking at him as a Montez Sweat type player. 6'5", 6'5.5", 260, 4'5" in the 40. Again, not a bad selection. I'm a little surprised, but you know, the edge rushers here again in this draft are not great. But again, they're filling the need, I think, at this point. So running backs are all still on the board, Jeff. I guess
the Dolphins feel at that point with that pick that they're okay with getting Williams at 36.
I told you I believe that the Dolphins needed to get one defensive player in the first round, and that's what they did.
Yep.
Again, I'm not a big fan of the pick, but I think it's not a terrible pick by any stretch. The Dolphins' first round night is now over, but barring another trade. So up on the clock is the Washington football team, better known as the Washington Redskins.
Yep.
Play. So I got a feel at this point they're going to go receiver. I don't think they need any more help on the defense. I mean, they can use secondary help. Could they go Caleb Farley? Could they go with Christian Barmore? No, I don't think they'll go there. They could go offensive line help. There's still some guys out there that could probably help them at this point. But I think it's receiver. I think they go. I think they get some weapons. They really could have used it. That's a team that could use a quarterback, guys. I mean, Fitzpatrick's your quarterback. You dumped off Haskins. You know, it's a little interesting right now. But
well, listen, I think if they were interested into one of the quarterbacks, they would have moved up.
They could have tried. Who knows? I mean, with their ugly uniforms, maybe they could have convinced Jerry to trade with them. But
unless maybe they're in the Aaron Rodgers sweepstakes.
I doubt it. He wants to go West Coast, but you got Washington and then the Giants. And then we'll end the broadcast. Right after them comes up the Colts and the Titans. And we thank everybody for being here with us for well over 3 hours. We're having some fun with it tonight. We've watched me be bitter. We've had a few laughs along the way. Jeff's got
how to extend it because the Giants traded back. But
that's
okay.
the truth. Yeah, but Jeff, you got to be pretty happy with your team's first round. I mean,
so far, you know what? If they get a running back in the second round, I think that it would be a successful first 2 days.
Hey, let me tell you something, Frank. Jeff's right. They could wind up with at least one of the guys from North Carolina at this point.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because if you remember, I said to you the other day, I said if they get the quarterback, a running back, and an offensive lineman in the first 2 rounds, I think that would have been a pretty successful.
And they're really sitting pretty at what? At 33, they're 34, right?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So at 34, they're sitting pretty, like you said, and getting one of those premier running backs. None of them have come off the board yet.
No, they haven't.
Yeah, I mean, let's put it this way. I don't know if Minnesota a team that could use a running back. I don't know.
Well, they got Cook.
Yeah, I don't see them taking it. Steelers will definitely take one of them.
Steelers will take one of them, and
Jacksonville might. Cleveland's not. Baltimore's not. The Saints aren't. Green Bay's not. Buffalo maybe.
Buffalo. I see Buffalo because they really could use a good running back.
Yeah, so there's a chance, but one of those guys are going to be there now. Do the Jets value the guy high? I don't know. Washington's pick is in. The Giants are on the board. 4 fantastic running backs on the board. Yeah, I agree, Matt. I think there's at least two teams that'll take running backs at the end of this first round, maybe 3. We'll see. It's been a couple surprise picks here at the end. We'll see. But guys, I appreciate everybody hanging in there with us tonight. It's been a lot of fun. We'll be back next week. We might be back tomorrow night. Maybe if the guys are all available, we do an hour, kind of go over Matt's boneheaded team's play, how they screw up the draft on people on purpose because Jerry's an old fart. But listen, you know what? Here's what I say to the Cowboy fans out there. My wish is that Jerry just stays there and keeps making bad picks and worse picks and signing your quarterback for $40 million a year and just ensure that for another 25 years you can watch my Giants win a couple more Super Bowls.
Oh, God, please. You guys don't stand a fucking chance. And
life pieces of shit.
Tommy, yeah. You're from Staten Island, not Fantasy Island.
Yeah, that's true. Sorry, Frank. John, listen, all I can tell you is this. If you counted all the Super Bowls that the Dolphins, Cowboys, and Jets have won over the last 25 or 30 years, the Giants got them beat 2-0. So don't rip my Giants when I haven't seen you guys smelling a Super Bowl in a very long time. So all of you guys can go get together and just pray that you get an Eli Manning type run in your life.
Well, not this season, but next season, I think my Dolphins are going to be right there.
I would agree with that. I think the Jets have done a nice job tonight. I liked the Tucker. I told you,
what the Jets did.
I thought that was a great move up. Jeff, they had all that capital, Jeff.
Well, listen, who knows? Maybe they still got another move in them. Who knows?
And I think you're right. I think if they can get a running back at that number at 34, boy, the Jets have had a great weekend so far.
Yeah,
and I think there's still more to go. So good job by Joe Douglas so far. I think it's been the first 2 picks have been good. We'll see what he does with the third one, with the first one tomorrow night.
If they go,
like you said, if at 34 one of those running backs dropped there to the Jets and the Jets are smart enough to grab him, then they've already did more for Wilson than they did for Sam Donald the whole time he was there.
If they were smart, they could get a running back in the second round, and then maybe the rest of the draft just bang out offensive linemen.
Yep. Here's the Redskins pick. Hold on.
The Washington football team selects Jamin Davis, linebacker, Kentucky.
Okay, Jamin Davis, linebacker from Kentucky. I've never heard of him. I have to look him up.
I was just going to say, I am not going to lie. Maybe Matt knows this guy. Yeah, I know very little about this guy.
This is deep. Once you get past Bolton and the other couple of guys, Parsons, how funny would it have been if your boy Goodell Jeff went up there and said, the Washington Redskins now pick. How fun would that have been? That would have made my day.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Jamin Davis. Okay, let's see where we find Jamin Davis on our list. Dude, I am looking at 3-4 outside linebackers. I don't see him there.
No, I think he's more of a 3-4 set.
Okay, he's the number 5 inside linebacker out of Kentucky.
Number 5?
Number 5 inside linebacker behind Parsons Bolton, Chaz Surratt from North Carolina, Baron Browning from Ohio State, and then Jamin Davis. So again, I'm sure that Ron Rivera, Mr. Sensitive, has figured it out that Jamin Davis is the guy to go get. So we'll see how that plays out. Up next is the Giants.
Yeah,
Dave's on the phone. Hold on, Dave. Let me get Dave on. How we doing, Dave? Where we going with this one, Dave? Oh, fuck the Jets. Yeah, he said fuck the Jets.
Punter.
Okay.
He's going to punter.
Yes. I don't believe he'll be trading back any further, so we'll see where the Giants go with this. I think at this point you're treating this almost like a second round. You're going to just I tell you the truth, if I'm the Giants, I'm looking for maybe an edge rusher here. This late, I would look to go edge rusher here. I don't think you need help on the inside, but
grab the kid from Miami.
Yeah, it could be Greg Russ from
Miami.
Yeah, it's possible.
That would be a nice fit here for the Giants.
Yeah, it's going to be edge rusher as we end here the Hard Rocket Sports NFL Draft 2021 NFL Draft Show. It's been a blast. I'll compliment both my friends on the show here. Jeff's Jets have done a really good job, and they're set up for tomorrow. We'll be all looking forward to seeing what they do in the second round. And Miami, again, 2 good players, getting Waddle early and then getting the player second that 2 minutes ago was it's a good move by. Yeah, getting Phillips is another good move. So a good draft so far by these guys. We'll see what the Giants do here, but I think Gettleman's done a good job in the first round trading down. It was in a no-win situation. There was nothing he could do at that spot because the Cowboys are a bunch of jerk-offs, and Jerry Jones should turn to stone and right in front of all of us. But that's a whole different thing. I hope it's not Kwity Paye. I'm not a fan of Kwity Paye, but he might be the best player available at this moment. I'm looking at the Giants draft room. There's not a lot of excitement in the Giants draft room right now.
You think there's a chance, and which I don't think they should, but you think there's a chance they still go wide receiver and grab more?
No, I don't think so. I think it's either going to be edge. I think there's Dave. Dave just got off the phone with me. He said to say hello, Jeff. I think it's an edge rusher right now. Or it's possible an offensive lineman, but
they got the best available player right now is that inside linebacker from Notre Dame, Jeremiah Owosu Kurama.
Yeah, again, it could see. I don't think that's a priority there, but they could use somebody sitting next to Blake Martinez. I won't lie. So again, right now, grab the best player available and move on to the end of the round, and then we'll come back in round 2 and. That's where the deep dive starts. That's where the Giants really earn their pay in rounds 2, 3, and 4. We'll see.
I agree with you, Tom. I think they really need to go edge rusher here.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an edge rusher. It could be Kwity Paye. It could be the kid from Miami. I think at this point you've gotten value out of the first round by making the draft by making the trade. So at this point, you could take a little bit of a flyer on a guy right now. The kid from line. Yeah, I don't think they go safety, and then you got you're not going running back. You're not going far.
There's Kwity Paye right there. They're already showing him.
Yeah,
didn't make the pick.
Yeah, Kwity Paye is the third ranked guy at this point. So again, I think it's one of those guys at this point. Giants have 2 minutes left on the clock. Maybe Dave's trying to trade back a little bit here. I don't know, but I doubt it.
Nah, there's no sense in moving anymore.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. We'll see. The Giant pick is still out there.
It's in.
Yep, the pick is now in. So the Giants. Let's see what the Giants do right here. Again, we're Hard Rocket Sports. We'll be back next week for sure. Pay attention. We'll be maybe on the air tomorrow night or sometime over the weekend. But we'll be back next Thursday night. We'll definitely be back to kind of break down this draft, see where it ends up, and then the 13th Roster Boss joins Jeff and I to talk a little bit about the new Dictators album and Granny 4-Barrel. It's been a lot of fun tonight. I thank everybody who's been involved with Jeff and myself, Frankie and Matt, and all the people following up on Facebook. It's a lot of fun to look up and see everybody who follows us regularly. So The pick is in. We're waiting for the commissioner for the last pick of the night for the Hard Rock and Sports Show. Again, thanks to everybody. Hope you guys have a great weekend and enjoy the nice weather. And make sure you come back to the Hard Rock and Sports Show every Thursday. Make sure you follow our good friends from the Talking the Fast Lane with John Hefker and everybody over at RFO Records every Wednesday night from 7 to 9. And of course, Pastor Mike with Mike Passamante, Carl Graham, and JP. So on Wednesday nights, you get a little sports and music, and then come on back on Thursday nights for Hard Rock and Sports. Again, we're wishing good health to our good friends Lou Toro and Nick Marino. Thanks for Jeff for bringing that up tonight. Go out and see the every Sunday night. Check out the wrestling documentaries. This week is Macho Man. And what else do I want to bring up? That's it. That's it on my end. Jeff, you got anything you want to end with before the pick?
No, man. Just interested to see who the Giants get.
Oh, we're going to know in about 10 seconds because here comes Goodell. He's walking down. A good-looking Giant fan waiting there on the stage. He got on his LT jersey or
he's got on his LT jersey.
Yeah, but of course, because the greatest player of all time. Why wouldn't you wear his jersey, Jeff?
On those wrestling documentaries, if you didn't see the Stone Cold 316,
that was great.
See that.
In the 2021 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select Kadarius Toney, wide receiver out of Florida.
Kadarius Toney, wide receiver out of Florida. That's an interesting.
I said I knew I had a feeling they were going to go wide receiver. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I thought they would go more, but Toney. Let me tell you something. He's an underrated guy. He's not bad.
I have him. He was my fourth rated receiver. Wow,
I heard a lot about him.
Well,
yeah, he's not bad.
No, again,
isn't he kind of small though? Is he like 5'9", 5'10"?
Hold on, I have his stats right here.
He's 5'7", but he could jump.
No. Kadarius Toney is listed at 6 foot 193. It doesn't look like
here is him 5'11".
Yeah, you're right.
199.
You're 100% right. You're 100% right. There, my numbers.
Yeah, but he's got an amazing look. I don't know if they still have it, but if you have his vertical leap is incredible.
Well, again, the Giants added some more weapons. Again, not the receiver that we may have wanted, but we'll take it. The draft is the Giants get another weapon for Daniel Jones. And,
this is a good pick. This is a good pick. I like this guy.
Yeah, this is a good job by Gettleman, Jeff. You want to talk to Dave? I can get him on the phone for you. But a good pick by Dave and a good round by the Giants and a good round by all the New York team, by both New York teams.
I still think that the Giants should have done something a little bit different, but that's fine.
Well,
I like what the Giants did. I think they did okay.
It's a good draft, guys. It's been a pleasure, Frank. I love you. I love
you guys. Thank you. Take care, brothers.
I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Jeff, have a great night. And for Jeff, myself, and everybody here on Rocket Sports, I say good night. Have a great night, great weekend. Enjoy the football. We'll see you next week. See you later, pal.
See you later, man.
And the broadcast.